Alright. Welcome back to episode 3 of the boredom-sated campaign known as Gothic Nightmares. This is, let's see. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, they had just discovered a series of tunnels being dug under by some unusual sets of goblins, utilizing various tools and jars of interesting acid. And they had made their way back to the village of Nordwick. So, you guys had found the tunnels and you were going back into the constabulary's, the rear end where you found the tunnels. Make a perception check as soon as you're within, as soon as you get out of the area. I know you wanted to try and
collapse the tunnels.
Yes, okay. So I assume you're gonna use the acid, or you're gonna how are you gonna do this?
Well, that's the reason why I said we'll take the one vial of acid we have and use it, and then I will use whatever tool I think is most useful at breaking this stuff down to try to break down whatever I can.
There's various pickaxes and such.
I have the tools on me.
Okay.
I have a hammer that would ever be necessary, a crowbar.
Okay.
I also obviously have my warhammer and my my dwarven war axe. And I think that's really the only things comparatively for that.
Okay. So, perception checks. I'll go around here.
25.
25, very nice.
14.
14. Jonathan?
That's an 8.
8, okay.
10.
You're preoccupied with that tunnel. It's 10. Okay. You see,
9.
There's still a lot of acrid smell of smoke, and there's also a slight tinge of the acid. I should have probably told you last time. There's still a lot of different odors coming up. Jared, Xandri, you notice that there's you hear some fighting. It's maybe 100, 200, 150 feet. It's outside of the actual constabulary. You just hear some cling and some it's like and some screams. You got a 25, right? Okay. So Zane's very, very acute ears. You hear at least a dozen, maybe 24 goblins outside that are attacking within about 300-400 feet, and they're battling what appears to be the townfolk. And you hear unusual sound because it's the unmistakable sound of metal armor being moved. Someone in metal armor being moved, moving very quickly and briskly as if in the war.
The goblins are fighting the townfolk.
We gotta go help.
You guys, Grimdor, he's told you that the goblins are back again, and they're attacking the townfolk. You are the only one who is really concentrated on your task of trying to cave this tunnel in. Do you want to go with them, or do you want to stay and try and...
Was all this after we already got back? Because
This is as you got back. Yeah, as you got back.
As we're going back.
As you're going back, the last thing was you were talking about, just as you're exiting the tunnel system, was to cave it in so that you can protect the village that way. Because they've been digging all...
Okay, because I thought at the end of the last session we got back, we got our spells back, we got everything healed up.
I don't think that happened.
No, this had a goblin assassin daggers.
Okay.
I will keep doing what I'm going to say. Go and help. This needs to get done. None of you are going to help me anyway.
All right. You continue upon. What is your let's say do you have what crafting you have?
Well, I have general crafting because you don't need to have specializations for stuff like this. But my specializations in crafting are
like wood and metal or something? Or?
Yeah, I have. I didn't take wood because I changed it based on the things that I was going with. Metal,
Yeah.
stone.
The stone part will help you.
Yeah, and what was it? It's this. I've got to look in the book to see which one it was, but it's
like cloth or something.
Yeah, it's not woodworking specifically. I'll look it up because I should have written it down and I thought I did, but I didn't.
All right, not a problem. All right, but you are examining the tunnel structure and make a craft roll to see if you notice weaknesses.
Yeah.
We'll translate.
Right.
Well, meanwhile, the rest of you leave and you find there's 2 other goblin bodies that are fresh. Perfect. If you feel
It's a 23.
If you feel it'll take you about 30 minutes to get it done, you're going to put the acid in certain strategic spots, chip away, and the tunnel should collapse. It'll be rather crude, but it should provide it would probably take the goblins, if they dedicate their time to trying to dig it out, maybe a couple of weeks to get through once you're done. Alright. Now, you see 2 goblins that have expired relatively recently. They're still bleeding out for the most part. And
it wasn't us.
No, it wasn't you guys. And as you leave the constabulary, you see a battle ensuing. There's several goblins and a few halflings that have fallen. And the rather tired and beat up halfling sheriff and his deputy are battling for their lives against 5 goblins. And a little further on, there's about 15 or so male goblins and a few male and female halflings that are fighting with whatever tools they have at hand against a good 20 or so goblins, and they look like they're going to get slaughtered for the most part. But you also notice that there are 10 humans there in half plate and chainmail armor that they're off their horses and they are fighting. You've never seen these guys before, but they are fighting with specialized dual blade curved swords, and glaives, and they are just cutting into. They've already a path of destruction behind them. You see about maybe another 20 goblins that are already dead or dying, and they should be battling this way. Oh, make another perception check for all 3 of you, please. Oh, I got that 15 that way. That's a good roll.
14.
14.
14.
22.
22. Zay?
20.
20. Okay. That'll be your initiatives. Because 4 more goblins have just finished off one poor commoner, and they have looked at you guys as easy sweeties.
Oh.
Okay? So let's see. So, they are about 25 feet away. They are hurt, by the way. So they're not. The commoner actually put up a bit more fight and had damage to them. Yeah, he had a literal butcher's knife. He might have been one of the helpers for the inn. He didn't go down without a fight. So.
Yeah, I make the assumption that for a lot of snares, it would probably be using weaving, which is why I chose. Because
just weaving.
Weaving in general, yeah, like textiles.
Okay.
Textiles.
Okay.
I mean, you could say that you would do it with branches. Like, it's depending on how you want to say it would be done.
Okay.
Because I
can
make the argument either way.
By making twine or string, depending on what you do for out of sinew or plant fiber, in order to tie stuff together.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
That's the reason why blacksmithing, stonemason and weaving.
Okay. All right. The first person to go is Zendri.
All right.
What do you wish to do?
Closest one, hit daze.
Days.
Yeah.
Is that a saving throw?
Basic will save.
What is it, DC?
18.
All right, he's dazed. As he feels. Is any damage?
He
to that?
fit. It's damage, and also he gets stunned 1 if he crit
What's
fails.
the damage?
4 points.
Oh, all right. His brain explodes.
Okay.
That's what that's got.
And then I'll cast shield.
All right. Okay, healed. Zane, what your compatriot just blew a goblin's brains out. What do you have to do?
Show off. Electric arc on 2 of them.
Okay.
Save.
Do you have, I'm save roll.
Yep, 15.
Okay. What's the damage? If you succeed, what's the
D4.
If you succeed?
Yeah.
D4 plus.
1.
Okay.
It still matters.
Roll damage.
4.
Okay.
2.
So 4 if they fail, 2 if they succeed.
Okay. So 1 succeeded, 1 failed. Okay. So one of them, cast a spell and it goes straight through his. Wait. Hold on a second. Don't rogues of the thief. Do you get?
He has to take a feat with her. He has to take a feat for that, and that feat is higher level than we are.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
And it's only with attacks. It's not with saving throw spells.
Oh, okay. It has to be a physical attack?
It's a spell attack spell.
No. I mean, with the you get that. I remember having like if you go before somebody, you get the
Right, but it's only with spells. It's at higher level, and it's only with spells
You
that
roll
you,
attack.
you roll an attack.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right. So one of them dies as your little lightning arc goes straight through his chest, pings off him, hits another guy, and burns the side of his face. Like, all right. So
See, that's how you do it.
Oh, now they show up. Huh? All right. And the guy is like he's crying in agony. Vegas, what are you up to?
Ray of Frost.
Okay. Well, you're gonna hit the guy he just hit, the
Yes.
second guy, or
I'm going to finish him off, right?
all
Because I think minimum damage might finish him off.
right. Damage kills the other. He's gone.
Minimum kills.
Plus 8.
17.
Same,
17.
17.
You hit him.
Yeah, hit it.
Button. Oh, he's down. He's down. He's got
Oh, yeah, I did 5.
3. Very nice. There's only 2 left. All right, let me
You
roll
did
around.
8.
Isn't it plus your spellcasting mod?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
His spellcasting
Yeah,
mod
I
is
just-
1.
Yes, I just got mixed up.
All right.
Meant to
so-
add
If
4.
your spellcasting mod was 1,
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh my!
I'm a wizard, but my intelligence is 12.
Yeah, I got mixed up.
You know what? That's
That would explain everything.
incredible. No, next time if it's playable, I'll allow you to play the ogre.
Ogre mage.
Except you're not.
Two-headed.
Except you're not the except you're not the race ogre mage, which is really scary. The ones that can turn invisible and are spellcaster. You're just an ogre who thinks he's a mage.
Yeah.
It's like I've got to ogre's like, what are you casting? I don't know.
That'd be funny.
Oh, you've given me an idea.
And because you just think they always save against your spells, there's no effect.
But yeah, you use prestidigitation. What are you using prestidigitation on the enemy? I make them taste good. Oh, this could be a lot of fun.
Soiling his clothes.
That's
All right.
terrible in a wonderful way.
Okay, so the 2 remaining goblins did not run away, but they decided to fight. All right, so one of them's going to shoot shots.
There should be 1.
No,
You said there were 4.
it was 4 or
I
5.
killed 1,
There's
he killed 1, he
You're
killed
right.
1.
There's 1 left. He's going to charge at you.
Do it.
As he uses his dog slicer.
I am 15.
Okay.
Did you
That hits
use
on the
your
dot.
final
Okay.
action, by the way?
Hmm?
Did you want to use your final action for something?
I didn't do it. That's it. So I know. You're saying shield.
You don't have that, remember?
I do have it.
Oh, you
You
do?
have it, but you didn't have it prepared, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have to go look to see
That
if I was
slicer says,
prepared.
die! As he figures he's going to go down, he's going to try and take you out. He slices at your leg and opens up a deep gash with a gash. Blood spurts from it. You take 6 points of damage.
He opens up a deep cache and money starts falling out.
Now we are still damaged.
That makes
from the
sense.
He
fire.
starts bleeding copper pieces.
It makes sense.
I'm gonna kill it. As he no, he's not
He's a
gonna.
half-elf
He's gonna try and bite you. He's just gonna try to bite you.
Oh, that's his next
Oh
attack.
my god. Alright, so so let's see.
Is this goblin about
Alright.
to kill him?
No.
1 point of damage.
All right, I'm negative 13 right now.
What do you mean negative? Oh, you take it?
Well, I had 6 from
We had
prior.
damage from before. Well, you guys had damage
Yeah.
from before.
That
Yes.
would be funny. But no. Alright, so
I
he,
still
I
have
think
no-
I left myself with 1 spell left, so I think I have
Alright,
one
so-
first level.
top of the order goes to Zenri. Go ahead. There's
Uh,
one beating up the elf.
do the days again.
Days? Alright.
Yep. DC 18.
Oh, jeez. How much damage does it do?
It does 4 if he succeeds.
Okay.
4, and he's stunned 1 if he critically fails.
8.
Okay.
It still doubles.
Oh, it still doubles. That's right.
Okay.
So if he fails the save, he takes 4. If he
Okay.
succeeds at the save, he takes
And
2.
you see him start to bleed from the nose and the ears, and he's like, as he looks kind of completely confused. Zane, you have a
He's
stun.
still alive.
He's dead?
Stun goblin.
Oh.
He's barely, yeah. Stun goblin.
I'll attack him.
Go ahead.
Just hit him.
That's a 21.
You hit, he dies. Okay.
You did it.
We'll keep these initiatives for this particular combat. Alright?
Can I
What can you do on this?
move on to the next one? So I'll move up to. Is the next one within 25?
Well, you have to move to in order to get to him, the goblin on him. So
Right.
moving through. I'll allow you to move your.
I have 3 actions, so I moved up to him. I attacked.
Yes.
I have another action.
You
Is there
can-
another one within 25? I
Uh,
think that's a reasonable question.
Okay. You can move up to the sheriff and his deputy who are pretty badly beaten.
I do have
down.
shield prepped.
You
Okay.
can move up to one of them. You
Okay.
can actually
Okay.
flank the one
Spells.
on the deputy.
I'll do
The
that.
next one.
I'll do that.
All right.
You
What?
nothing.
It's one of my prep spells.
All right. All right, Zane.
Right.
So
Did
you're
you shield,
about
right?
25 feet away from the
do it,
deputy
use it.
and the sheriff who are battling 5 gobos right now. They look like they've suffered multiple cuts and contusions, and they look like they might be going down very soon. He has moved and flanked the one on the deputy. What do you mean?
Oh, it's back to my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Daze has a 60-foot range.
So we can daze.
So, Daze.
Which one? You want one that he's flanking, or you?
No, not the one that he's flanking.
Okay. Okay. That one takes. That one, yours. Wait, hold on. Your DC was 17.
18.
18. Oh, okay. Well,
If he
what's-
fails the
what's
same, he
that-
takes 4. If he succeeds, he takes 2.
No, the critical fail is 10 less than what the DC.
The critical
Yes.
fail
So if he
is
rolls-
he takes 8 and is stunned 1.
It's okay. The damage when you double it to he's
dead.
another head explodes. You do a scanner.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then cast shield as usual.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 8 It doubles from 4 to 8,
Yeah.
and
Because I rolled an 8, I want to make sure. It's like, wait, is that?
yes, if you get
10 less than what the DC is.
if you get 10 less than the DC,
Beautiful.
or would you
Yeah.
have to get 11 less than the DC? Failing
Should
by
be
10?
Well, the critical is 10 plus.
Yeah, well, if the die roll usually needs to be like, I'll look it up
Well, look at that.
because I'm curious.
Vegas, it is your turn. What do you used to do? You've seen him turn one of the goblins into.
It's my turn.
No, it's 14.
I was first.
Oh no, sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
so he was next.
I'll attack the guy that I'm flanking. First
Go
attack. That's a 27.
27 hits.
Does that crit?
What's your minimum damage?
My minimum damage is 5.
Oh, you kill it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so far they've been having an AC of 17, so it's
You
only
can
7.
attack the.
So far, they've been
another
having an AC
one.
less than that.
You just move a little bit and then you have
16,
another
I
attack.
think.
16.
So this is what you got.
No.
Is it -5?
Yeah.
This one -5. Yeah.
I missed.
Okay.
Well, -4.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, guess your turn. Sorry about that.
All right. Who's within 30 feet? Is everybody within
Let's
that
see.
to move?
What, his one was within 25 feet, so you have to move for a little bit closer. What are you trying to do?
Well, let me.
Well, he wants to get within 30 feet. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to move.
No, I don't have to move. I have 120 feet. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So what do you
They're,
do?
they're all within 120 feet, right?
Yes, there's that.
There's enough within
Yeah.
120.
So I
Yes.
will Ray of Frost one of them.
Ray of Frost. Go ahead.
All right. It's +8.
15.
15.
15 just barely misses.
Miss. And
He's
If I
creating
must-
snowballs in the ground.
I will
again,
put up a
isn't he?
shield. As I do have it prepped. Put up a shield.
Congratulations. This is a learning experience.
Everyone
I did
together.
not know I had it prepped.
Now you just have one more thing to learn.
So, you need a little cue card.
The rest of the game.
Attack, move, shield. Just keep going that rotation and you'll live a lot longer.
You'll see later.
Alright. So the goblin, let me see the goblins. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the two remaining goblins on the sheriff try and book it out of here. The sheriff is a fighter, so he's going to get an attack opportunity, and he hits. And yeah. And he slices one down to the floor, the other one books it out of there. In the background, you see two of the halfling citizens get beat down. But before they're killed, the knights, or I'm not sure what they are, slice down the goblins, and they book as well. There's maybe about a dozen or so goblins left as they run away. As you survey the battlefield, you count maybe about 6 or 7 halfling bodies, and well over maybe 40 goblins. Now, I'm going to use your perception checks continuously for this one little aspect because you notice something interesting. Of the goblins, the 2 packs of goblins that attack, one that attacked you and the one that attacking the sheriff, you notice that you notice the familiar 3-claw one, but there are other goblin tribes there. There's one that has what looks like a red eye tattooed on their shoulder. Another one that has, you notice all of their ears are blackened. No markings other than their ears are just blackened. And then finally one that has that just has a patch of darkened flesh that has 3 green scars over it. So at least 4 different tribes. Only one of which you've met before. They also do music.
The other ones that I was able to convince to help us, those
Yes.
are the ones that have like
Black circle.
the
Yep.
black circle.
Black Circle, yeah. They're not part of this, but everyone else is.
So is there a goblin tribe war right here?
Well, I wouldn't say war. They're all joining forces.
Some of them are, some of them not. They don't always play well with each other. All right.
But there's at least 4 different tribes that are now joined.
So Grimnar, you manage to cave in the tunnel. Takes you about an hour. Chipping there, putting a little acid here, and you guys hear. You want to say anything like timber?
No one can hear me, so why?
Wow, I don't know. Just dwarven pride.
No, Dwarven Pride is saying that it takes me an hour's worth of work to have them be able to fix it in 3 weeks.
All right. As you come out and you see this huge dust pile out, you guys are examining the area. You notice that there's each one of these goblins has. They don't seem to have any money on them at all. All of them have. They have some pouches filled with like bits of jerky of various types, turkey jerky, some rabbit jerky, and also something like that. But other than weapons, they don't really seem to have anything else.
Out of the halflings that are dead, are any of them from the families that took in the young goblins?
No,
Okay.
they were in a different area. This one took out most of the people near the town center area. They made a beeline for it. Yeah. So, Degas, what do you want to do? Anything interesting?
Not really at this time.
No, nothing?
I need to heal. That's what I need to do.
Okay. So the knights are search. They go around doing what medieval armies do at the end of every battle: stab the enemy to make sure they're dead. And one in particular is not doing that. he seems to be talking to the sheriff in a rather authoritative voice. You pick up his name is Mannerheim, Sir Mannerheim. And you notice that he has
Is that Mannerheim?
Mannerheim.
Okay.
And you notice that he has a cloak with a symbol on the back. It appears to be a green circular bonfire.
I
Do you
read
see
their
some-
lips to see what they're talking about.
Okay. You have, anyone has society?
Yes.
You may roll it if you wish. To see your
Wow, we're actually using society.
Ooh,
Natural 20.
What's the total?
11.
25.
I got 11.
Well, remember, all rolls, if you roll a natural 20, count as one
16.
success level higher.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your roll? So he has a 16.
11?
11. Okay. You're not sure. Maybe the bonfire gang. You know. Sentry. This is a knightly order. They are known as the Knights of the Green Flame, and you've heard of rumors here and there. They specialize in all slaughtering hobgoblins, goblins, goblinoids in general, as well as orcs and gnolls, and sometimes trolls as well. But they just
There's no dwarf among them.
no, they are humans, half elves. You don't know if they're any. Well, I haven't gotten to you. That's what he knows.
Right.
You got the friggin' critical either way. So, so what you know is this: they're a bit zealous. Doesn't mean they're paladins. They're just really zealous in this. They have a lot of them are orphaned. One of the this is some of the things you've heard in taverns and various other resources. They are known to be extremely. We don't retreat, we don't surrender, and type of thing. They are very, very damaged individuals. All of them have suffered or have been orphaned by goblins or one of the things they fight, and they just go after them and they just murder death, MDK them, murder death, kill them. They're known. They also one other thing. They're known to employ a lot of. They have something that they utilize on their weapons, which gives them their nightly the green flame, and they use it most of the time when they're fighting trolls. It just makes that it's not magical. It's just simply like an alchemical substance they put in their weapons, and it keeps it burning for a while. That's what you know.
So, what are they talking about when I read their lips?
All right. So, Mannerheim.
It's a feet.
Yes. Beautiful. Good
You
deeds.
still have to roll perception, don't you?
Yeah. I still have to roll.
What's it called?
perception.
Feet.
Read lips?
Read lips.
Okay.
Very straightforward.
All right. Roll. See.
What it does is allow you to.
16, so 22.
22. Very nice.
Good.
All right. So the sheriff is very indebted, and he's basically saying, "It's a good thing you guys came in. Can't you help us with our goblin problem? I didn't know that there was this many. There's so many different tribes, and we knew that there was one tribe in the area with about 4." And Mannerheim says, "It's okay. I've been tracking one of these goblin bands, and we knew that they had somehow, after slaughtering a war band, there was at least 2 goblin tribes working together. We had no idea there was 4, but that's okay. We're going to need to. I've sent one of my knights to Fort Bastion. He should be back in about 3 days, maybe less. It depends on if he how hard he pushes the horse. But how many have you lost on your village? How many have fallen? And I don't know. It looks like about 7 or so. We have to get the women and children to safety." It's like, it might already be too late. If they're this bold to attack us, we're going to have to fortify a position. It might come to the last stand, but we will slay many greenskins.
I come up while this conversation is happening, very dusty,
Very dusty. Yes.
and say, the underground's covered.
The blacksmith. Excellent.
It's been I took out the cave entrance. They've been digging that for months.
The sheriff comes up to you and says, Thank the gods you're here. Are you okay? You're covered.
I literally just pat myself, and you see dust fly everywhere. I'm fine.
Good. And
They had vials of acid that they might have been using for some of their digging because they can't dig. They can't build tunnels.
They use acid, and you see a man you've never seen before. He's dressed in armor, half plate, green cloak, and he is wielding what appears to be a glaive. And he says, you're the blacksmith I've heard of. Hello, I am Sir Manaheim of the Knights of the Green Flame. Did you mention they used acid?
Yes.
Goblins using
Oh,
acid?
there's still, unless they've taken it, there's still, half a dozen vials
I got
down
a
there.
bar. I got
They're
a
giant.
gallon. I got a
We
gallon.
didn't.
You got
Yeah, I have 1 gallon.
He looks at you. Assuming you're near.
I thought you grabbed the
Yeah,
one
I
you
did.
took.
That-
Did you grab?
Yes, I had to take that one because that's the one I used to bring
Yeah.
everything down.
I didn't have that
Yep.
written down, but you took that one.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got another half a dozen down there, but they might have taken them with them. I don't know. Either way, getting down there is probably not going to be easy. I collapsed the tunnel pretty thoroughly.
It's good that you've blocked one entranceway. And he goes into he has a satchel nearby, and he gets up, and it's a piece of pottery, and it looks identical to one of the jugs of acid. Did it happen to look a bit like this?
Yes. Looked, in fact, almost exactly like that.
Interesting. It seems somebody has been. We've tracked.
Is it alchemist or is it stolen?
Well,
Or both?
someone has been. We've at first we had imagined that it was stolen. We had caught, like I said, a war band earlier, and they were transporting several of these jugs. Many of them were utilized against us. They rather than be captured, they would throw the damn things at us. And some of my men got hurt, and it was acid inside the damn things. I took one for evidence. But now that I think about it, somebody might have sold them these, because goblins can't manufacture this.
Look, some goblins are they're not the smartest people, but goblins can. You'd be surprised. Well, honestly, you probably wouldn't be that surprised, but you'd be surprised at what they can do if they put their minds to it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there was some goblin who did some studying.
It's just that it's on this scale. There was I've seen, as you might have already experienced in your life, friend dwarf. There are goblins tend to be pyrokinetic.
Yeah.
They love fire, and there's a class of goblins that are dedicated to that endeavor.
Yes.
But in general, they seem to be individual in terms of they prepare their own flame bombs and such.
Right. But if several of them decided to work together, they might have been able to do this. Which is obviously frightening, but at the same time,
Well, one goblin tribe,
one good leader.
may not be able to construct on this level, but with 4 tribes and the resources, they might be
4?
at least.
We only knew 3.
I'll get more than that.
How many were up here that I didn't see down there?
It looks like there's 4 more, so there's 5 total.
4 more?
Yeah. Well, total of 5. There's the 2 that we knew, and there's 3 others.
We knew 3.
So there's 2. Did we know 3?
There's the ones with the 3 claw marks.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the ones with the red eye.
They're right there.
The ones that are dead here with the black ears.
Right.
The other ones with the green scars across the
And the ones
the
that
chest.
helped us.
And then the one that helped us were the ones that were the black serpents.
So that's 5.
So there's 5 total
Yeah.
that we're aware of.
And 4 of them are working together.
And
Oh yeah, the one with the black circles. They were down there to try to eat other goblins.
He looks kind of bemused by that, and so as if he's thinking about something.
Look, the enemy of my enemy is my fighting partner. Until they're not.
That's pragmatic.
They were very helpful until they were taken down by the dogs.
The sheriff is now leaving this conversation. He's going to try and organize people to try and leave. To basically, he's calling a town meeting, and the deputy runs off to the center of town, and there is a larger mountain than the rest, and it has a bell on the outside, and he's doing ding, 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 call it town.
I'm gonna have to move my shop again, aren't I?
It's possible. Oh, okay. So, Sir Manaheim is going to now physically tend to
Heal me.
his knights. Says, "Well, we'll continue the discussion later. I suggest you gentlemen.
No, use.
We need rest.
I suggest you gentlemen rest.
Yes, I will. Here, get over here.
What?
he's good at bandaging people.
He's
Yeah.
managing with his hammer.
I can only do it with magic.
I can probably do it myself. I have medicine.
Yes, go ahead and do it on your. We had this conversation last time. All right,
Ooh,
there you go. You get to double it.
25 total. Natural 20.
very nice.
9.
Isn't that like 48?
Yes, you get to double it. You get to do 48 healing,
4d8, you're grabbing d6s.
Get the
Doing
dice
that.
out, man.
and I will attempt to heal myself as well.
Is that 8?
16.
You heal. Oh, I think we done 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wanted to roll everything anyway.
Yeah.
So what did you heal Boris? Boris?
I healed
I'm
Boris
so
for
down.
9, and I heal myself for 5, which is not enough, but you know.
It's enough for now.
I'm gonna go rest.
I go to my shop. I fix all the other things to make
Okay,
sure that it's
your
done.
shop, okay.
It's been ransacked, hasn't it?
Well, it's the you see there. Do you have survival? No?
Yes, of course.
Please roll that. As the music from Kill Bill suddenly comes to
A ranger without survival.
Sees the
20.
nice. As you hear the klaxon, you see various goblin tracks have gone past. At least 2 of them have gone inside. There's
They all peed on your fire to put it out.
There's nothing left inside there.
No, they're
there's-
fire.
Gets
That's
stripped.
it. You saw you had a few ingots of steel that you had tucked away, and some of these you had about, I'll say 10. About half of them are gone, and your tongs and a few other hammers are gone, and maybe 2 daggers or so out of the daggers. And those guys, whoever they were, they took it. And these guys didn't actually join the battle. As soon as they found this stuff, they put out here.
I'm rich. I'm a wealthy miser.
Yeah. The ingots of dwarven steel quality are prizes in the noses.
They robbed you blind.
No, just they took whatever they can grab.
Great. So now they could use their forge and they could burn the steel and make it useless.
But each one of the ingots are like about 5 pounds each. I mean, it can be from whatever he needs. So
All right, well, the first thing I'm going to do when I get back there is clean up what I can,
Okay.
and then fix everyone the stuff that people had brought me. I think I might have done that before already, but anything
Yeah,
I
you
didn't,
did.
anything I didn't fix, I will fix.
You did that.
It takes almost no effort for me to do this.
Fork and the
It's still
The
shovel
fork,
head.
the shovel head, all that
It's-
stuff. It's the cost to me is practically non-existent, and I fix them with rolls of.
It's not so much those are like routine type. You don't roll. Those things are like routine type of things.
Well, I critically
It's just-
succeeded.
It's more
I
about
made a hell of a fork.
it's more about just the effort and time more than
Yeah.
anything else. If anything needs firing
Replacing things.
But I got a 26 to to repair that stuff.
So there's a town meeting, and you see there's maybe about 200, maybe 250 halflings This is about like maybe half an hour later or so. And you see the 6 goblin kids as well. And
Oh,
yeah. And you guys are there, and the sheriff is kind of, he looks pretty dowered and pretty sad because it turns out the mayor was assassinated. He was on the other side of town, and it seems a pair of goblins got to him and cut him down. And so the de facto leader is now the sheriff. The sheriff is basically it tells everyone we have an absolute emergency, and it's in my opinion that we should leave as a people and move to Fort Bastion. Fort Bastion is about 25 miles from here. We can get there in like maybe 2 days, and leave this area to the goblins because there's just too many of them, and they're just being too aggressive. And of course, others are like, "No, we're not going to leave. This is our home. We should fight and defend it." And some of the ladies says, "We can't defend it. There's only a few of us who actually knows how to fight." And another of the guys says, "It doesn't matter. We have the high ground. We can win against these damn goblins." And
Obi-Wan halfling.
When they come from every side, having the high ground doesn't help.
they get tired when they get to us.
It's not that high.
They don't. But that bit. And Manaheim basically says, if I may speak, I don't think they're going to attack again tonight. But tomorrow, most likely they will. And possibly in force. Now, I've already sent one of my men with our fastest horse to reach Fort Bastion. If we leave here today, we'll be completely vulnerable. Women and children and those who are infirmed slow us down. Most likely it'll take 3 days. Maybe even 4, to go over open terrain with no defenses whatsoever. And the goblins will attack and surround us and slaughter. Most of you, anyway. However, here, if we give them a bloody enough nose, perhaps they'll give this town a pass. And then we'll have relief troops from Fort Bastion, and then we can properly slaughter the goblins in their warrens and burn them to smithereens. I think we and my knights will stay and fight to the last, but it's up to you good folks what you wish to do.
Go to the sheriff, ask if I can speak.
I
course.
say, well, after that, good speech.
Of course. What do you wish to say?
So my suggestion is the women and children and those unable to fight, maybe 1 or 2 of your knights can lead them to Fort Bastion. Those that are willing to fight, want to fight, and are capable, stay here with the remainder of you and the knights to defend the area. So that'll get those that are unable to defend themselves out of harm's way, and will be here to defend the town.
Let's see. Oh, make let's see, diplomacy roll.
Diplomacy. 13.
13. Okay. The Manahan, he nods. He's like, that's a reasonable plan of action. We could definitely try. Well, I believe we can. That's very, 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 very much the way we should go. I completely support that plan. Okay.
How about the people? How about the people? Do the people support the plan?
Yeah. They looked like they said, all right, that sounds good. Now, they eventually split up, where one group is all able-bodied people that can possibly fight. Out of the 250, that leaves you with about 50 old men, old folks the women and the children occupy the majority of the town population, and about 200 or so. Some of them have carts. Some of them have halfling ponies, which are basically like Shetland ponies, really small. They have about 60 of those. And they have about 20 carts. So they can transfer a lot of the population at a reasonable space, but it still will take a lot of them.
Well, Sir Manaham, I mean, I would rely on your military expertise, but do we divide up? Do we find a single location to garrison and defend?
I thought we should lead these goblins into a trap. Goblins have very little strategic thinking. They just see an objective and they just swamp, relying on numbers. The most complex tactic they have is just the surrounding and then coming from all sides.
Normally, yes,
Yeah.
but
These dug underneath. They took time. They took effort. This was coordinated.
True.
and
They
they
must-
obviously have some kind of leadership in order to have 4 tribes working in unison.
Yes.
They have to. That is not totally unusual. Sometimes 2 tribes can tolerate each other enough that they don't go to war in order normally to destroy another 3rd tribe or another group like halflings or elves or whatever else. If they feel that they can gain the most from it.
But to
They
have
can't
4
reckon-
tribes working together?
True. That is most unusual.
There's a king.
The prince or king.
There's some sort of leader that's holding them together.
Right. There's a warlord.
Something like that. Yes.
I want to fight him.
Perhaps we can make it happen.
I don't think so.
If we can-
He's
if-
probably a coward.
If we, possible.
All
If we
goblins
can-
are cowards.
If we can, he considers momentarily. We can dig ditches. We can prepare traps. we can corral them into certain hill zones. So we have a lot of hills here. That's how the halflings make their homes and buildings, all into mounds and put them in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates channels, natural channels. So if we keep various high grounds, we can pepper them with.
Well, if you're looking for something like that, I can slow them down, and I can also, if we can get them to funnel into certain areas, I can build some traps that'll kill the first one that comes along.
Okay. If you are a skilled trap maker, as you are a blacksmith, we'll put efforts into that. We'll have some of my knights help you as well as the able-bodied villagers to help you chop wood, make whatever spikes you need, shovels, and start digging trenches and pits and whatever else you may need. We're going to have to dig, which is not something unusual for us.
Is there a single location you're trying to funnel them into, like a defensible position? Something like the inn?
The inn might be one of the better choices. Simply because the inn and the constabulary are relatively close to each other.
Or else they might just
There's
get
also
a side
the
to
town
attack.
hall. You guys haven't actually been there, but the town hall where the mayor was. But where the mayor's office is.
And they attacked my bloody.
You got out pretty decently. You might want to keep the ingots and various things on you.
It'll weigh me down too much. I won't have the bulk.
Okay.
So I can build hampering snares. It's one of the ones that I took.
Okay.
It's 10 by 10 foot areas that become difficult terrain as soon as the first person goes into it.
Good. That's very good.
And then my damaging snare is 5 by 5s, and the first person that goes into that takes 2d8 piercing damage.
Oh, that should be nice. Well, how big is that thing? 5 by this one?
Yeah, it's the spike snare. The damaging one is just 1 square, so first person to go into it basically gets chopped in half.
Okay.
But the hampering snares last. It's D4 rounds of difficult terrain for a 10 by 10 area.
Okay. So
And if we're preparing it for the next day, I can, if given the materials, I can prepare made 4 of them.
okay. That's okay. We can multiply that to over 20 of them because of the help, extra help. So you can, like for instance, an area, one trap in like a 60-foot radius is not going to be great, but we can put like 5 or 6 in that area, and then
then it's
more
60 foot by 10 foot of difficult terrain.
Yeah, slowing them down enough to be slow.
That was the point of. That's why I took hampering snare as one of the ones I took, because it's.
So as we go through a wonderful montage of everyone getting trained and
It's gonna be a montage.
preparing punji sticks.
You're
and,
the best.
things.
Cue the theme.
Hey, everyone, together.
No, we already did the training part.
That's part of you. You know, like you're gonna have to do the Magnificent Seven things, like squeeze.
Also,
No,
you're not the
ha-ha
monk. You're the rogue, man.
No, the ha is from Army of
Army of
Darkness.
Darkness.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was
He
just going.
practices stabbing.
I was just
through
going with
days,
the.
blow up the watermelons.
I was just going with the South Park one.
So
If you
when
need a passage of time to so good, so good.
yes, sure it is. All right,
Only
for the
3
next-
words. It's okay.
For the next 12 hours, you guys are digging channels, building traps, training.
I supervise.
You can supervise. You can. They make arrows.
Strength thing.
Are we holding a funeral for the 7 that died? Or are they bringing the
time.
bodies with them? I mean, I
We
don't
can-
want to leave these like rotting halfling corpses.
They get
That's a-
buried
that's a-
halfling
that's-
tradition, right?
The halflings. Can,
What is halfling tradition?
They just bury it with the
Society.
You can do that, yeah. Manaheim has an idea for that. For the halflings, he says, gather all the bodies. We can utilize them one last time to help defend the village. And
Let me roll society to see if there's any issue
Desecration.
Religion.
Bodies.
with the use of the body.
Oh.
Either way, it's either a 14 or a 15, so
Okay.
depending if it's religion or society.
Yes, the
Like,
halflings-
do they believe once you're dead, like the soul of the spirits left the body's just a shell, you can do what you want with it? Or is it like a sacred vessel that then has to be treated appropriately? And
They don't want. Well, Manaheim wants to use them as extra troops, as in propping them up to make it look like they are, at the wall or.
Weekend at
so we're doing a weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
The halflings adamantly refuse. They refuse.
Which is fair.
They absolutely refuse.
That's what I wanted to check.
They
It's
want-
like disgusting.
Yeah,
and
this
disgrace.
it's desecrating the
Dead.
and
Yeah.
they don't want that to happen. So he gruffly says, "All right, fine. Then how about we utilize the goblin bodies for? You've heard of ever heard of shock and awe? Well, we're gonna go with fear and loathing." As his men start gathering the bodies of the goblins and starts using some of the stakes and
Bet you killed small animals as a little child.
and starts
Probably still does.
and starts cutting their heads off and putting them in pikes.
I think
I-
you're right.
With most goblins, if I might be wrong on this, but with most goblins, if they see their heads on pikes, that's not going to make them angry. It's going to make them run away. But in this case, I feel like it's going to make them angrier. And what is your goal with this?
Do you not have somebody that can animate them?
No, we do not
Wait.
buy necromancy.
Do you?
I'm gonna help.
I
I'm gonna
don't.
help whatever halflings that are remaining
Yes.
to take care of the funeral arrangements for
Okay.
the 7. If I have to help dig a ditch or
I can summon a construct, but
One of the
so I'm not involved in
things
the war
he
prep.
uses-
Why have you not done that?
one of the things he utilizes is
Never mind.
at some of the peripheral areas. He puts these severed heads on spikes across there, and he explains that he just wants to give them pause, even for a moment, that this could happen to them if they come into the village or if they come into the hamlet. And he utilizes the bodies. Well, obviously, no one has the heads anymore, and he utilizes them as building material. He puts
Like sandbags?
yes, exactly.
It makes it so they've got to filter through the traps
Yes.
more easily.
Yes. They can basically, at this point, you guys have blocked off either by trenches, spikes, or traps and such, that they only have the ability to come at you from 2 possible avenues. And that's how you're distributing your forces. I mean, basically 5 knights on either side. And, well, it's the town utilizing infantry tactics, and a few of them are bows. The knights refuse to use
Pistols, no pistols in this world?
The black powder exists. Cannons exist.
With no pistols.
No, there are arquebuses. They haven't
Black
developed
powder.
flintlock yet. It's
Okay.
all the where you had a
Right.
burning wick. So it's if it rains, you're screwed. Watch it.
Have you ever seen a human try to use one?
No.
It's kind of
It doesn't go well.
It's kind of funny when you have long little bags around here that they explode. A little spark, and you're like, oh.
Especially with magic.
Yeah.
And arcing lightning.
So-
I had to watch.
I need to rest so I can get my spells
Yes,
back.
you guys you can rest. You can rest at the inn. Most of everyone is tired and is either sleeping, probably in the
I thought we were setting up traps and things.
they've been working for 12 hours. So
So we're resting and doing that then? We have time for that?
No, it's you took the whole morning, afternoon, and most of the evening doing this, and now you're resting.
Okay,
You're
sure.
keeping guard, but yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys have a restful, pretty restful sleep considering all the things you've been doing that occurred today. And you recover all your, how many, see, I need you down.
Well, I was on 5, but if we rest, that
You
I
recover all
can
your
heal that.
spells.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
If you wish to change any spells, now's the time to do it. Don't take shield, you don't need to.
Don't take that.
During the prep time,
Mm-hmm.
I set up caches of weapons at different locations. So as I run through town, I do the Magnificent 7. I can pull out a dagger, throw it at somebody.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Let's see, what else? Do they have oil?
Yes, they do.
Okay, set up different locations, some oil, so I can
Flask of what?
flask of
Okay.
oil with a quick light.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
Do you,
see
have,
what.
do you have flint and steel on you?
Oh yeah, because I have.
I'm making sure, because if you didn't, I could.
Yes, flint and steel. It's
Beautiful.
even written down.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Let's see. So set up different locations with that. Some locations with daggers, so I can throw it at them.
Okay.
A couple of locations with loaded crossbows, so I can run up and don't have to reload.
Okay. They've set up.
Just make sure that none of these locations are also easy for them to get to, so we don't have loaded crossbows ready for them to fire at us.
He's like, I moved it
Like all of them are going to be behind a spike. All of these are going to be set up behind a spike trap.
Yes.
in. In which case, he's gonna.
No, I have thievery. I can avoid the spike trap.
Here comes the natural one.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
So
That means that you can take time to disarm it.
yes.
all right.
So yeah, set it up.
Okay. Now he's setting up his various arsenals. What are you gonna do?
Helping with the funeral
Funeral
arrangements.
rituals. Okay, so that takes your time.
I'm making sure all of the snares are set up appropriately.
You check and double check and triple check everything.
Yeah.
is-
They are set up so that the DC is supposed to be like the DC to detect them
yes.
and disable them
Uh-huh.
is my crafting DC.
Okay.
So for all of these right now, it's 18.
Beautiful. Okay.
So for them to see them, it's a DC 18, and for them to disable them, it's currently a DC 18. Although, if you the spike snare, if they walk into it, the DC for them to take damage is DC 17
Okay.
for their reflex save.
Okay, DC 18.
Oh, can you do are there narrow alleys here? Not
Not
really.
really. That's
Okay.
that's one of the reasons why there was such a precedent to create traps to funnel them in, and also to that's one of the things that they're doing for the heads is putting them on the sides so that they won't go from there and they have to go funneled through.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, they don't. This is like a hamlet. They're just round buildings, almost like no rhyme or reason to them in terms of their placing. Just wherever they happen to be.
Where there was a hill, they made a house.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. Except theirs was more like they built a house and then they slowly packed dirt over it over time, and over the years and decades, vegetation grew on it like a grass, and then they decided, you know what, let's trim this, and so it became a round.
Yeah.
Like it became part of the landscape, sort of.
Okay,
All right.
so after setting up all my little catches of things,
Weapons,
yeah.
Is the goal to get them to try to get into the inn and then we kind of kill them in the inn, or
There are several yeah.
I'd like to hope that we're not going to wait for them to come inside a building.
No, there's several kill zones. Basically, they want to reduce the number of pathways to
right? But
and then
eventually,
eventually, yes,
there's going to be a
kill zones.
large number. We're going to want like a final assault
Yeah,
to have a defensible position,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Basically, there's several ways to get to you. Obviously, before this happens, and between the combination of traps and ditches and spikes and whatever else, you want to funnel them to certain areas where, oh, this sucks, oh, this sucks, this sucks, and by the time they get to you, you're like, or solve them, and you just rinse and repeat to a certain extent. And they eventually says, this is too much effort, and run away and go to another town or whatever. That's the basic gist of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're not just going to come from one area; they're going to come from like multiple areas, but each one's going to have a nasty surprise.
So how many does Mr. Goblin Hunter think there going to be?
He's well. If you ask
We
him,
heard like hundreds
yeah.
when we were in the tunnel, didn't we? Or like around 100 something.
I do not know.
I mean,
If there's
we
one-
killed what, like 30 something?
No, we killed more.
No, we
If
didn't.
it's
In the tunnels.
In the tunnels.
In,
Yeah.
in the tunnels, we killed 30. There's another 40 dead here. You know, I'm assuming we haven't already taken out 50% of them. So
it's difficult to say. One tribe, if they are willing to attack a village in force, especially one of this size, it's about 250, 300 halflings, you'd figure there'd be at least that number of goblins that would be able to attack from one tribe. Now, I don't know if they've suffered any problems from other intertribal warfare or other races or and other villages or towns or whatever. But I would say at least a good 200-300, maybe. Depends on how much they want this town. I mean, this town only got raided for about 50 or 60 goblins left yesterday. That might just be to see how our defenses.
Yeah, and based on what they've done, our defenses sucked. They came in from underneath. They came in from above. They came in from the other side. They stole my crap.
I guess as the last person for preparation, have you chosen the spells for your oncoming battle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Right.
I-
Include shield.
Does include-
Just to make sure. I want you to survive to level 3.
Yeah, that.
I have no such
If there's
desire.
going to be 300 or 400, are we making a level before the?
There's not going to be 3
I
or
don't know
4.
what you're talking about. Who are you asking him? He's like,
This is not the Magnificent Seven. There's more than 7 of us. It's split between 50. It's split between 56, 57
I
people.
know it's the Magnificent Four, but you know,
Figure
it's-
2 of the knights left with them, so that leaves 8 knights.
Oh, I don't know how many nights there were.
Plus the 50,
Yeah.
plus us 4.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's 62.
Yep.
yeah, there were like easily 80 people in the Magnificent Seven. There were just 7 really good people.
Well, we've got to assume at least the leader of the knights knows what he's doing.
So there's 12 really
If I
good
remember
people.
the movie right, not many of the main characters lived.
3,
Yeah, right.
which is
Less than half.
which means 75% of us should live.
He's gonna die. Why do you keep looking at certain doors?
And I figure all the knights are gonna die because they're fanatical and zealots. And
Look. We'll see what happens. How's that? I hope
I'm
you.
gonna start getting a complex if everyone we allied with starts dying.
Look, it's only happened. It's only happened once so far.
Right? If it happens again, it's starting a trend.
That's 100%.
Yes, but it's look. We were going in against overwhelming odds, and I suggested we not do what we did there before, and we survived, but the goblins did not. We'll see what happens.
How many of the leaders and
okay.
do we think? I mean,
We can do it.
realistically, we need who's ever controlling them or organizing them to come out as part of the attack.
Yes.
So
If the Goblin Warlord isn't here, it's
then
gonna
we
suck.
have to go in after them. We still have the other cave entrance that we went in originally.
But the chances are, if it's a large attack, the Goblin Warlord is going to be here. If it's not, he's going to be viewed as a coward and somebody else who's going to take leadership.
Roll society. Those who wish to know goblin. Yeah.
Natural 20.
I don't even
Now
know.
you're wasting all your 20s.
Not even worth rolling that.
Here comes the ones.
Yeah. So, what do you know about Goblin Society? Apparently,
Oh, it's really easy.
Exactly. What you said is exactly what it is.
so you're saying that the Goblin King will be looked upon as a coward by the other goblins if he's not leading the charge?
Yes.
That doesn't sound like goblins.
Well, this is a special situation because there's 4.
All right. So this is a Goblin warlord that is also bloodthirsty.
And he's trying to control 4 tribes at the same time.
Great. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
You also believe that.
Create your own facts by rolling a 20.
You critical. You know everything you need. You believe that that it's a matter of endurance. The first waves, most likely, if there's a leader types, they'll be like goblin commando types. You've met one before. You killed one before earlier. 2 of them. If it takes too long, a couple hours, whatever it is, then yes, the leader or warlord or whatever, the guy who's leading the entire attack, he has to show up. Otherwise, he's seen as a failure because he'll be killed by his other lieutenants and taking his position, taking over, unless he proves that he can actually get shit done.
By the way, how much we want to bet that the leader is not a goblin?
Probably a hobgoblin.
Could be. It's really difficult for one goblin to control.
I'm thinking he's either a
It's also
hobgoblin.
possible, that's what I added them. It's also possible they are being led by a hobgoblin because they look up to hobgoblins as their bigger, smarter, tougher cousins.
And I wouldn't be surprised in any way, shape, or form if there was a bugbear.
Now, you didn't roll the 20. You can't create that.
So, all right. So
Eventually, he says no.
obviously, we're all doing our individual preparation.
Yes.
Tactically, how do we want to be arranged? I know you want to be hopping around town.
Yes.
I plan on staying in the inn.
Yeah.
And then
Don't stay in the inn. You won't be able to see any combat.
from a window. something where
There's not really.
or
they'll be shot.
somewhere close to the inn. My expectation is, as people get in trouble and get hurt, that they'll retreat back to the inn.
Yes, and if you were a medic, that would be great. You're a healer, not a medic.
You need to be with that group, but basically just outside of each of the buildings that you want to defend, they put like a ring of spikes and such, and a lot of the archers or whatever are going to be on these. From where you sit, where the inn is, and the constabulary is about maybe 200 feet away from each other. Okay, and then from the
22
city
far.
hall is also about maybe about 160, whatever, 180 feet away. So those three buildings are the ones you want to defend, and that's where they've got like a crown of spikes over it.
Okay.
And this way, you can see various avenues of which are covered with spikes and covered with trenches and traps. And then when they get goblins that don't instantly die to a snare, they'll be trapped and mired.
How many
down.
groups are we going to be splitting up into? So we have
3.
the 4 of us, we've got the 8 of them, and then we've got the 50.
The 8 of them are going to be in a centralized location between the 3, just to go wherever they need, wherever they see the most number of, because they're fanatics. They'll go wherever the largest.
Are all 8 of them sticking together? Or are they splitting up 4 and 4 and each taking a group of halflings with them?
They are just. It depends on the situation. The group of halflings, I'll say about 6, about a total of 18 of the 50 halflings that remained are archers. They'll be archers or slings.
Okay.
And
All right. Most importantly, where are we going to be?
it depends upon you guys. Where do you want to be? You want to defend the town hall? You want to defend the constabulary? Or you want to defend the inn?
What's the closest to my shop?
The inn.
Done.
Because you want to have an eye on that shop.
So, I'm gonna start at the edge of town, hiding like on higher ground.
Roll a stealth roll.
Okay.
That'll be your beginning stealth. You're gonna know what now. What do you got?
Ooh,
Close.
a 2, but it's not a critical fail. But stealth, that's a 12.
12, okay.
Ah, you're an expert.
Oh, this is gonna be great. All right. All right, here you go.
How far away from us
Stupid
is
knowledge 20 rolls.
he? How far away from us is he?
It depends on how far you want. Where do you want the?
Because I think you'd
You can
want to
hide
be
anywhere
within
you
like
want.
maybe
Where do
2
you want-
movements.
How far do you want to be away from?
A few buildings away from the closer to where they would. I'm thinking they're gonna come in.
Okay.
So
After they've moved into closer to us, he can come up from behind them.
Okay. You figure they.
I'm actually gonna be on top, sniping them with the crossbow, and then after a couple of shots, run down.
Okay.
And keep moving closer to the inn as they progress through.
If you want to be a few buildings away, then he's out of your eyesight.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Okay.
You can definitely. I'll say you're hiding on top of one of the houses,
Yeah.
and you're a couple.
So the
Maybe
goal
You're
is
probably about 1,000 feet away, maybe.
right.
Maybe less.
The goal is I'm sitting there with my crossbows and a couple of oil
Flasks.
flasks. I'm gonna watch them come in. I'm gonna try to figure out which one's the leader of this group
Okay.
and try to snipe him.
Okay. All right.
That's the first round.
Okay.
Depending on how well I roll, we'll see what happens in the second
Right,
round.
but then when 8 dogs go and chase you down,
I understand. That's very brave.
I find a place that's second floor. Is the inn anything with the second floor?
It's
And
called.
we've already said that there's no windows, man.
There's no windows.
Oh,
No
okay.
windows. You can
Stop trying to make it so you can't be hit in combat.
What you can. The best.
That's what I'm supposed to
The
do.
best thing you can do is.
you're too tall to hide behind the halflings.
The best thing you can do is get on top of
On top of a building?
on the inn. It's got spikes around it, so it'll take them like 2 or 3 rounds to actually ascend. Or maybe depending on lucky rolls. And then you can take whatever, and the halflings will take pot shots at them and weaken them so badly that you can just. Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll go up there.
Yeah, that's the best you can probably come up with. All right, that's.
So you're gonna snipe with.
With magic. Well, I mean, I have a heavy crossbow too,
That's
but
the end, yes.
that's horrible to use versus my magic.
All right. So you've got a range of 120, and you're probably, what, a good 15, 20 feet off the ground?
Yes. So with a range of 120, it's good enough.
So
Better than
anything
30.
that gets roughly within 100 feet of the building, you're
Yeah, I'm gonna be
able to snipe.
So let's see, 15 feet, that's 150 squared minus 15 squared.
Yeah, don't. It ends up actually only adding like 6 feet to for the hypotenuse.
Right.
It ends up adding like nothing. Yeah, we've done
So let's
these.
just
We've
say
done this math
approximately
before.
100 feet.
Yeah.
It's more like 110. We've done this math
Yeah.
before, and it's negligible change.
Yes.
All right, so is Zandri and Aegis in?
No, I'm useless up top.
Okay, so where are you going to be?
I'm going to be hanging out with Grim over here,
And where are you going? Center with the knights.
so I can heal both him and Steven.
My plan is basically to be front line of that defense with Steven and whoever else is there, and basically going to try to goad them into coming into attacking us, knowing perfectly well that I've got a bunch of traps in front of us that they will run into, and the front several of them will die horribly.
Now, as night falls, as the morning, you guys all have gotten good rest, and it's early morning, and you guys are preparing for an attack. And you had a very quick breakfast, and in the distance there's a cock crowing, indicating that the morning sunrise is about to dawn. There's a blood sun there. It's a battle about to make a perception check that you are the furthest away from everybody else.
19.
19. You look at the crack of dawn, and you have dark vision or
Low light.
Low light. Okay. You see dozens of goblins coming from the horizon, and some are coming from your point of view from the west. Others are coming from the north, and there are a few that are on their goblin dogs, and they don't seem to be like really organized at all. It's like you're not sure if there's different types. You know that there are several different types of goblins that when they go to war, or when they raid in sufficient numbers. And as they get closer, you see them. There's some, the goblin dogs, what you might consider cavalry. They're all over the place, and there are several goblins that have. They seem to be laden down with little flasks, have little wicks and such, and they have torches, several torches in there. You can roll a society roll that if you wish. But they're 20 or something.
Almost.
15. These guys are basically called goblin pyros. They have a perchance for burning things. They actually go into combat with a torch as opposed to a dog slicer, machete type of thing. And they carry basically flasks of oil and other sticky, flammable substances. And at the head of one sort of column is what appears to be a goblin rider, and he's different from the others in that he has a helmet. The other goblins are simply wearing leather armor, but he seems to be wearing a little bit of studded leather, and it almost looks like a pilot helmet with ear flaps, and what appears to be almost like goggles. But he is, of all of them, they don't look very disciplined. He looks like the only one that seems to have any iota of discipline. His mutt is actually has some sort of barding on. Everyone else is just simply wearing bareback. But he's got a bow and dog slicer.
I'm gonna aim on him And when he's within a range where I won't get any minuses, or there's no,
There's plenty of minuses.
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
When I won't get any minuses,
No,
I
you
will
can fire
try
any
to
range.
snipe him.
All right, you are using what?
What do you
Crossbow, a regular crossbow.
I-
For this
The
one,
heavy one or light one?
heavy one for this
What's the
one.
range of that?
120, I think.
It's 1d10 damage strength. Heavy crossbow.
Probably on time.
Yeah, it's a 1d10 damage. Heavy crossbow is 1d10.
So when he gets in range, I'm gonna. Try
Yeah, the
to
chances
snipe
of him actually getting in range of you are not that high.
I know, but if you know, if it seems like he's not going to get in range where there's no penalties, I'll take a shot with a penalty. Just or how long a student's cantrip count takes to cast.
Most cantrips are what? Either way.
Most are either 1 or 2.
Yep,
Okay.
I mean,
what's the
most
range
are
of-
2.
What's
But
the range of a crossbow?
120.
120.
So, the normal range penalties are basically the way they.
Is it -2 per?
Yeah, it's -2 per range band, and I think there's only a certain number of range bands you can go.
It's two, I think.
Um,
Let's see.
5.
5. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, which is the way that it's always worked. It's -2 for each additional.
Okay.
So, as an example, if you have a 60-foot range, you can go up to 360 feet away.
Nice.
But you'd be taking a -10 penalty on the attack roll.
But he can
So-
roll a lot.
Huh?
He can.
Yeah, he can shoot from 360 feet away and take a -4 penalty.
Yeah. But you know, as close as possible with the least penalty and take a shot.
Okay. I suggest we start now. That way we can start the
Yeah.
battle. The whole rest. Okay. Welcome back. Let us begin. So, what do you wish to do as you see this very large war band coming from the west?
How many approximately? Just a rough count.
You figure there's about
He said dozens, but you.
100.
maybe.
All right.
More.
I don't-
Then I'll let them pass me. I'll let them like pass me.
Well, as soon as they enter the periphery of the village, they start splitting up.
Right.
And they are, right now, your visibility gets, even though it's getting more light, it's progressively worse because they have various houses that are breaking up your line of vision.
Right. But I'm keeping an eye on the leader guy.
Okay.
So as soon as he passes me, like, and I get the best range increment, I'll
Okay.
take a shot.
Take a shot. All right. So that's what you're seeing.
Yeah.
You guys are.
Huzzah! All of our surprise is gone.
He's gonna get chased by 99 goblins.
99.
All right. There's
Why
hear-
only 99?
Because he says there's about 100 of them.
Yeah, the problem
So-
is why not the whole 100? He's shooting at the one that'll survive
Well,
the
because
shot.
the leader will have discipline and stay rank. Stay in rank.
So Angus, you are
Good point.
you are on top of the
inn.
inn.
Yep.
Zendri, you are in the middle of it, on the bottom.
I'm with Grim.
Okay. So you guys are. You hear some warning signs as they've they've set up some alarms, and it seems that there's somebody attacking from the southeast. As several of the scouts that are on top of the constabulary mentioned that there's about 50 of them coming from that area.
And where's he?
He's in the west. You can't even see where he is.
Do I see any others anywhere
You
around?
hear some goblin screams not too far away, maybe less than a quarter mile.
Well, we're responsible for the inn.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to figure out which directions they're coming from.
All of them.
We broke up into three
They might be
groups.
surrounding us.
They are surrounding us, but they can only come directly at us from specific angles. So if you go out to let them to say, "Oh my God, they're attacking from it," you're just going to get yourself killed.
No, I'm not going
You
outside.
hear a bunch of goblins screaming, lots of cursing. As Manaheim, his elves, and some of the
Yeah, I wouldn't know if
half
they're
the
seeing or
defenders
not.
prepare just in front of a row of wooden spikes and a little disguised pit that has some leaves and debris on top of it. And suddenly you see dozens of goblins coming from that direction. Some of the halflings are letting loose arrows, and you can just barely see from your perched up point.
Mhm.
They set up an area for a makeshift, not really even a tower. They just put several chairs together, and they hooked and they planted it in the ground, and they put small support beams. So it's about 30 feet up. One of the halflings is sitting on top of a bunch of chairs on top of each other, and he's like looking at a little spyglass, like, "Oh, there's a lot of them coming from the west."
What about the other
Sounds
side?
like Gus. Oh God.
What about the
No,
other
it's not. It's not.
Gus is the lookout.
No, he's not.
He's so drunk. He's like, there's like 32,000 of them.
No, Gus, you don't know where Gus is. You haven't seen, Gus has
Okay.
been missing for a day or so.
What about the other side?
Passed out in the
Oh, he's
bar.
like, which,
No,
he looks
he's a
over
traitor.
there.
South, east,
There's-
west. Oh,
There's at least 50 of them coming from the southeast.
He actually sobered out, found his
what about the north?
power staff
no,
and his
no,
mage
no.
robes. He's going to come out
In the
blasting
east?
fireballs.
East, no, nothing there. They seem to all come from the west
Here,
and from the
Augustus
southeast.
the
So
Great.
far.
All right. The
All
west and southeast so far only.
Okay,
All
some
right.
of them are from. He says the one from the southeast. There's some of them are trapped. Some of them are in hits. Some of them are in pits. A whole lot of them. Here they come. As you see, a goblin. First, it's only like maybe a squad, maybe about 10 or 12 of them or so. They come in. Some of them get impaled on punji sticks. They fall over their own brethren. They get peppered, and maybe 3 or 4 get close enough before the knights cut them down. They get ready for the next wave, and another 20 come in. And once again, the halfless knights come in.
Waiting for those two magical words.
Roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
All of us?
All of you, yes.
Those are the words.
You can use stealth for your initiative, or use some perception. So what did you get?
I'll use stealth.
19.
19, very nice. Hey, this
Ooh.
Wow. Sendry,
17.
17. Anzing,
29.
very nice. I assume you should probably get that considering how much prep time you have. All right.
Well, rolling a 19 helps.
Certainly does. All right. So we'll start with Zane. Yes, Zane for now. All right. You see the guy you think is a leader type, and he's about as close as he gets about maybe about 100, just to the for your range, about 120 feet thereabouts. There's 4 other riders with him, and a whole cohort of. You see, 3 of them have the flame types, the pyros, and maybe about 30 or 40 regular goblins, all surrounding him, all sort of disorganized. They appear to be congregating depending upon their tribe.
Right.
So they're like at least 4 little squads, about 10 each. And you notice that the difference is some of them have black ears,
Right.
scars, perhaps an eye, some of them has quick scale.
As soon as he passes me,
Yes.
take the shot.
Go ahead. Take your shot.
1?
This will be about
3.
3? Okay.
What do you got? Ooh,
Oh, good.
12. So that's 20.
20. You hit. Roll the damage.
1d10.
I'm gonna give you surprise. Sneak attack. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Even though it's sneak attack shouldn't be, I'm gonna give it just for the sake.
It doesn't actually have a maximum range for sneak attack,
Oh,
so
good
yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
Go ahead then.
Yeah.
Roll well. You add your dex to this.
No, he does not add his
No,
dex.
that's right. So-
Just 13 points.
13. Okay.
Which is still good damage.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
Very good.
From an arrow, that's good.
You should. And you've accounted for the wind, the rotation of the earth. Temperature, all the other things.
he's not shooting that far away.
120 feet is.
No, you're with
It's not
It's
that
not that far.
Curvature here doesn't even come into consideration. Now, if I was at 5 minus 10, then I would.
Yeah. Like if you were at 300 feet or 400 feet, then you'd actually have to care a little bit.
Tag him in the neck. "Rah!" As he does this. Hold on.
Oh, I wonder if he's dead.
No, he's not dead, but he's really, really bad. Okay.
Shot in the neck.
So
That's gotta hurt
they,
a little.
all the goblins start looking around, but they don't seem to notice you at the moment. What do you want to do?
Okay.
Run!
You want to finish
there's
him off,
over
right?
60 plus goblins in that
Right.
area. They
So-
are spreading out now. Some of the 2 groups are coming near you.
Right. So I'm gonna lie
They're about 80
down
feet now.
and light up the 2 oil.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to reload, right?
Oh
No, I'm not reloading.
that-
Oh,
Yeah, he's
no,
not
that's-
re-firing that.
So yeah, that's your turn.
Yeah,
One shot and 2.
That's it.
And 2 reloads.
Yeah.
Right.
Drop
To
prone.
interact.
Yeah.
No, he's
reload.
already prone. They didn't,
Yeah.
they didn't see him so
Okay.
far.
Yeah, that's
All right.
fine. Theater of the mind.
And as now about 20. Why didn't you roll the 20?
Seriously,
That would
man?
have been awesome.
Better than a 3.
Grimnard, now there are 20 that made it through the traps, and they're getting cut down. Some of them are getting cut down on the left flank by the knights. Halflings sort of in the middle, and you happen to see 2 coming around the side and within range of your hammer. You don't have to move. They're coming right at you.
All right. Well, if they've decided to charge me, then
Your hammer will charge them.
yeah, then I will. Well,
My hammer will.
my axe will charge them. My hammer is not out right now. All right. So you're saying that I don't even have to move?
You don't have to move.
Or-
on your turn, they reach you, so you can.
Okay.
Move. You can
Sure. Then I will attack one, and then
Steven?
Steven will attack, and yeah. So I'll attack first. It's a 21.
Okay. Did you kill him?
If there's still the 5, then yes.
Well, the first one gets. It's a hammer, right?
Axe.
Axe. All right.
Dwarven war axe.
You cleave the first one in 2 before he even gets a chance.
All right,
to
and then I will have Steven attack to see if I need to attack again.
okay. Oh,
25.
25. Okay. No, actually, ironically, just barely enough not to crit.
Yeah, he only has a +6 to hit.
Yeah, maybe next time, next level, or whatever. But he rips. Yeah.
Okay, he barely. I remember with him, I actually have to roll. His strength is only +2.
Okay. So he rips the first one, the second one, to pieces. All right. So.
And I remind everyone to. I tell everyone to hold and keep in flank or keep in arrangement.
The battle so far is going well according to plan. Even though there are slightly more coming every single time, you're able to handle the load right now. Knights are just polishing off.
Archers are doing their
The
job.
archers are picking off stragglers that are coming in from. Now, where they're coming in from, both the town hall and the constabulary can see them and start pinging them from a distance before they get to you. So they are picking up certain ones here and there.
I just stay in formation.
Okay.
As soon as you break ranks, that's when you die.
Zengrid is your turn. No one seems to be too badly hurt right now.
No one's within range of me either.
Yes, there's a couple of I say about 15 goblins that have been cut down, so about 5 left currently. They're currently in battle with the halflings.
Alright, I'll
Take a shot.
daze one.
Okay.
DC 18.
His head explodes. He critically failed. His head
And
explodes.
for my other action, I cast shield.
Okay. Hagus. All right. So you're
Anybody
shield
within
3 times.
well, 120 feet and 60 feet.
you can hit barely the one at if you're like on one of the spikes and you're like you can do that.
120 feet.
Yes,
Right.
you can
All
pick
right.
off one.
All right, so I'll attack that.
Roll the hit.
+8.
Ah.
No,
Once again, there's a
missed.
snowball. And everybody's like, why is there snowball?
It's not winter, there's
It's
snow
101
everywhere.
degrees and it's snow.
And I might as well put up shield because
Okay.
there's nothing else
You put up shield.
I'm going to do right now.
Yes, he's learning. All right. Okay, so there's 4 left. They attack the remaining. Yes, there are 4 left. They attack some of the halfling. Do a little bit of damage. Back to Zane. Zane, you have 2 now.
So,
black lights.
how long before do I have 1 round before it hits the oil and blows? 2 rounds? How long are the
As soon
waits?
as you I would say it depends on how long you want it. How long do you want the fuse? Like 5
I
seconds.
want 2 rounds, or until it breaks, because the fire will touch the oil and
Okay.
start.
Alright.
Okay.
So I'll say you put maybe say 8-second wick.
Yeah.
And
So-
so you have them burning. What do you wish to do?
So 1, I cast Mage Hand, and so let's say I'm here, and they're all here.
Okay.
The Mage Hand comes around here
Uh-huh.
and drops on people here. So as if there's somebody on this building throwing it down here.
Okay. What's the range of mage hand?
It's 30 feet. So
30 feet? Okay.
Yeah.
So you put you want both of them in
No, just 1.
just one. All right.
So that they go, oh, he's on top
The
of that
mage hand
building.
can move 20.
How
now,
long
right?
does it take to? Does it cast one casting?
It's a 2-action
It's
cast.
a 2, and then 1 action to move 20.
Okay.
No, it's part of the action for it to move 20 on the first turn. If you sustain it, you can move it 20 with the sustain action.
Okay. So it takes two to cast.
So it's
it,
2
and then
to
move
cast,
it.
and then you can do it.
And
You
it
can
moves 20.
Yes.
And then
Another 20.
and then it's so I assume we're 20 apart or to the next building.
Well, a little more, but yes, that's okay.
So it just looks like
Don't be confused.
somebody threw it from this building, not this building.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Missed.
What is the total?
9.
Okay.
Critical
So
miss.
so
critical miss.
No, 9's not critical miss. You critical miss.
No.
No, you roll.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
He critical missed.
Okay. All right.
He
With
dropped.
his +8, it's a 9.
Oh, okay.
He basically dropped it in the wrong
Yeah.
spot.
I was mentioning
Or something like
It'll
that.
blow up in the face, but no. All right, so I'll say you cast your spell. The hand then appears, and you have the 2 flasks. A flow
One.
flask. And
It moved to 20
good thing
and then
wasn't
threw
2.
it.
Good thing it wasn't 2. It moves 20, and then you chuck it, but unfortunately, your hand somehow slipped, and it just falls down in the house, and someone's house is on fire. Well, no, just the glass around it. Nothing too bad.
Well, hopefully
You're like-
they'll think somebody threw it from the house. That's the goal.
It was worth a try. It's an interesting idea.
It's better to have the 1 now than before.
Alright. Next. Grimdar. Alright. On your turn, Grimdar, just at the beginning of your turn, another 30 make it through.
Oi.
And
We can take him.
That's a lot of goblins.
now the battle is more joined. The knights are occupied, the half of the defenders are occupied, and now there's a sizable contingent attacking. The archers are now concentrating on raining death upon the guys fighting you guys. So you have 3 of them near you.
All right, good.
So you can still don't have to move.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's a very combat.
All right.
environment.
So I will attack one of the ones in front of me,
Go ahead.
and I will miss.
What's the total?
It's a 12.
Okay.
I will then attack another one, the same one again,
Okay.
and that'll hit, and that guy's dead. And then I will have Steven attack one of the ones, and he will miss. And then I will have him attack again, and he will miss again.
Jeez, all right. All right. And then after that is Envy.
Daze and shield. So just, until
Yeah.
I say otherwise.
Another one explodes. That's the one. Another one's like. His heads. Wow. Okay.
8
Wow.
points of mental damage.
Well, okay. Because of the sheer scariness of that particular effect, several of the goblins around him, they're like, and they run away. 5 of them run away because of that effect. I roll their morale. So they just like,
Flee in terror.
they flee.
Great, now we gotta go into the caves and chase him down.
Wow. All right.
If we
That'll
win.
be another day.
All right. Goblin 2.
There's no more caves. They're sealed, right?
No,
one
one tunnel was sealed.
The other one's like so far away.
The caves we originally went in at
Yeah.
the beginning, they're still completely open. We only sealed the underground
So
one
one
to
that you
the
missed, he's
sheriff's
gonna try to
office.
hey, die, dwarf! As he gets his little dog slicer and tries to attack you with it. So. Alright, that's 16?
No.
Okay. Second one is much higher. Ooh, what am I doing? 24?
24 hit. Anything in the 20s hits.
Alright.
I'm surprised the second attack can hit on get a 24. But.
Yeah, it was. I rolled. You're taking a whole one. I take that. I tasted broken blood.
Can you handle that? Can you
I'm
handle that?
dying! I'm dying!
I still have more hit points than any of you guys do.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's not him. I've taken damage. Healer, healer. You're down 1 point. My spell does a D8 plus 8. I need it. I need it.
All right. And
I can feel the life leaving me.
one is going to. He's going to try and shoot at Steven. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to shoot at Steven.
Thatcher?
So yeah.
Yeah.
That is 23.
Calling the
a hit.
ASPCA on him.
2. 2 damage.
They're improving.
And the second attack.
Kill him quickly.
No, this is all right. And yeah, that's it for those guys for now. All right. Next is yes, your turn. What do you do?
All right. Anybody within
Steven
6
has your HP.
feet of the end?
Not unless you move.
No.
And one better than your AC.
All right. I'll frost it.
Okay.
All right. Plus
Snowball, here we come.
snowball.
Wait,
Critical fail.
now,
Okay,
wait, were they?
so roll
Weren't there closer ones?
Roll. No, he's in a he hasn't
He
moved.
moved.
He's the
I'm
He
on
just
top.
frosted his own eyebrows.
roll it damage.
4 plus
Okay.
8 damage.
Okay, hold on. No. Okay. So one of the halflings that were fighting,
Oh.
you hit him.
Killed a halfling.
They go, oh!
How?
He falls unconscious.
But you, how?
I missed.
How?
He's on the goblin side. He's the warlord.
You discard the land. Too late.
How are there no enemies within 60 feet of you?
As I'm in the inn.
He's 120 feet away. The inn is
Why would you set yourself up like that?
That was
So
one
he
of the
could not
3
ever
major.
get into melee.
That was one of the 3 major areas that we're protecting. So I went on top of the.
Why are you asking this question?
Why are we losing? What are you shot from behind?
Just keep going. Just keep going.
It's a whoops.
Whoops. If we were playing in a world with
married,
no
family, what's wrong with
spellcasters, he would then have to play someone
Oh,
with a
and
bow.
shield.
He will never, ever, ever willingly be in ranged or in
that's great.
melee with anybody.
No. Why would you?
In any game.
You wanted the warlord. You got the warlord.
Just, oh my god.
He tore his mustache.
It's an oopsie.
All right. It's an oopsie.
You know, he's attacked twice, and he's only killed one of our people.
I didn't kill him. I'm not unconscious.
Oh dear. All right.
Oh
So,
my god.
in addition, there's a goblin about 20 feet away from you guys, and he's got a torch and he's got a flask.
Oh no.
Uh
As
oh.
he throws.
Oh.
No, never mind. He hits his own.
He hits his own. So now we're even.
He hits.
Oh yeah? You kill one of yours, I'll kill one of mine. Think you're bad? You ain't bad. I'm bad.
He throws such
I'm
flash.
the evil one here.
It kills the one on me so that I'm free to go and charge him next round.
He smashes on the goblin on you, and he goes, "Ah! I'm under attack from everywhere." It's like, no. Oh wow.
Sorry, George.
Did he die?
Yeah. He burns in fire. He kills one of his own guys.
I look down, I look over at the goblin, I say in goblin, thanks?
He looks at you like, it's okay. You guys can shoot each other. We can too.
He's like, I got my first kill! I just made a level!
It takes more than one kill to get a level.
It's a goblin. He's 0 level.
He's -1.
Zane, what do you wish to do? It's now up to you guys.
Same thing with the second one with the hand.
All right, now 10 of them are much nearer now. They've been moving cautiously in the direction.
Well,
They're
let's
30
see.
feet away from them.
Let's see what happens. Well, it's splash attacks,
What is it?
so it's 13.
13. Okay.
Are you proficient with this?
Actually, that's a good question.
It'd be
What is
crafting
it? Is it
alchemy.
martial?
No, it's
crafting.
alchemical. This is specifically an alchemical item.
Alchemical.
If you don't,
No,
you
the bombs are under weapon categories.
yes.
Is it simple?
It's not a
Is it-
special.
Is it improvised?
Is it improvisation?
No, I don't think
No.
it's improvisation because.
Keep going.
Yeah,
But
they're
either way, you
under-
missed.
Yeah, either way I missed, but there might be splash damage.
All right. So now
It would be 1 point of splash.
Right.
If you want to count it as a basic alchemist fire, it would be 1 point of splash.
All right. They now see you because you threw it, and
No, I didn't throw it. I mage hand
again.
again
Okay.
from the next building.
Roll deception roll. Do you have reception?
Deception?
Deception roll? Or
No, I mean
Oh,
stealth.
Roll stealth instead. Just to see if you can remain hidden. Let's get
14.
okay.
It's not a 1.
They still they don't notice you as yet, but they are definitely now combat aware that someone's throwing bombs from your general direction. They start moving in that general
Because
direction.
alchemists are trained in alchemical bombs as a specific thing.
For example, can be found starting page 5 but it's a martial weapon.
What's it count as?
Martial weapons.
Bomb.
Throwing?
It's group bomb.
Right.
Right, but it's listed under the...
Martial weapon, not
Under
special.
martial weapon.
Not special weapons.
Group is group bomb. That's what it says. Group bomb.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
The group doesn't mean
Right,
anything.
are you
Okay.
proficient in martial?
Yes, some
No.
martial weapons.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am in some martial weapons.
Yeah,
What's
in
specific?
rapier, sap, short bow, and short sword.
Yeah, that's some martial weapons.
Okay,
but
but
not this.
not this.
one.
Okay.
Not
So you have a +4 to hit, not a +8.
Right.
Oh yeah,
So,
no provision.
yeah, but either 12 or 13 is a miss.
No, either a 9 or
No,
a 13.
yeah. 9 or 13.
There's not going to be a 1 difference between
No,
proficiency
either
and
9
not.
or 13 is a miss.
Alright. So let's see, that's that. Then Grandar! There's still one on Steven.
So I'm going to have Steven go first.
And actually, so that took 2 actions.
Oh, yeah.
My third action, I'm gonna go to the back of this building so
Yeah.
that I can climb down next turn.
Okay.
The second attack, Steven still missed, because unless I can get him flanking,
Oh, it's your turn first, so yeah. You can gain flanking if you want with Steven.
well, if we're keeping formation, then I'm not. I wouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, so Steven missed the guy twice. I'm going to move up to the pyromancer, and I'm going to attack the pyromancer.
Move and you have 2 attacks. Go. That hit.
That's a 25 to hit.
That hits. You have to roll the damage.
No, there's one attack.
That's 9.
No, he's dead.
All right, and then I will move back to formation.
Alright, fine. Okay, so Goblin Warrior. Oh, wait, no. Zandri, what do you wish to do?
Anyone within my 60 feet?
60 feet? Yes.
Alright. Daze and shield, so...
He takes 4. And he's stunned. Alright.
Well, he's only stunned if he critically.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he just takes the 4.
Yeah, it's just the 4 damage.
Oh, I thought that was a standard thing. Alright,
No.
fine. Okay. So he takes 4.
No, critical fail, he takes double damage and is stunned 1.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it would be way more powerful.
Yeah.
Alright. So the goblin on Steven, he's gonna try and dog slice. Well, he's gonna. Yeah, dog slice it. That is 21.
21. Yeah, anything in the 20s will hit everyone right now.
2.
Oh my god, no. Stop it.
Taken 2 twice now.
Yes.
That's like 4.
And let's see. There are a couple more interesting goblins here. Another group of about 10 make it through. And some of them are wielding bows. One of them's going to try and shoot you. Nope, he zipped past. And one of them's going to try and shoot Steve. And that's a 16.
Miss.
Miss?
Miss. AC 17.
And then one was going to try and shoot you.
AC 16.
23. All right.
That hits.
Take 3. 3. Okay.
AC 17. You've got shield up.
Oh, that's +1. That's right. Oh wait.
Can you use the shield?
If you want to, you can use the reaction, but then you can't use shield anymore.
For 10 minutes.
Yeah, not for 3 points.
I mean, it absorbs up to 5, so it's up to you. And you don't know until you can't know what the damage is before you.
Oh, in that
do
case,
it.
I would have used it then.
Okay.
You want to use it?
Right.
Yeah. So he uses the shield reaction, and the magical shield blocks the 3 damage.
Okay.
It still has 2.
No, but as soon
No,
as you
once
use
it's
it, it's
used,
For
it's
any?
done.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
It's
don't
done
have to
for what, like an hour or something?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, the idea is that you can only use it once per combat.
Yeah.
All right.
It's still
So those-
stupid strong.
Those are the next ones. So next is Vegas. What are you doing?
So
Anybody within 60 feet.
No, they
All
haven't
right.
gotten past you.
Any,
It's still 120 feet.
any,
I got-
any,
They're not attacking you.
Any-
You're an ally.
any special goblins, that,
In
like,
this
more-
area? Yes,
in
there's
240 feet.
200. How do you know this? What?
Within 240 feet. Do I see any, like,
Make a
special...
perception check. That'll
All
get
right.
one action. Go ahead.
Then I can't even use this thing until next time.
You,
Anyway,
you want
Anyway.
a skill check always takes one. Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
yeah, 24.
24? Okay. You notice there is one to your west. He's riding on a goblin dog. He's got about 4 other goblin riders with him. And he's got a couple of, about a squad of goblins about 10 feet in front of him. He's total, just barely in your range. 240 feet.
200, okay, I can't hit him right now. That'll be next round.
Okay.
But I'll keep an eye on it. Whatever's within under 20 feet, I'm going to attack again. All right.
Go
Ray
ahead.
of Frost.
Go ahead.
Come on. Yes!
There you go.
Finally hit.
Alright, you're paying.
You did it.
Roll it down.
You killed another halfling.
It's a minimum 5.
It's a minimum of
No,
5.
roll. Yes, you have to roll. Some of these are
8.
very nice.
8.
No, not all of them are
Okay.
are
I
fives.
killed one. Yes.
Alright, you shoot one of the goblin pyromaniacs is about to.
He's now even. His kill total.
As his part of his chest and his arm freezes.
He dies, right? Or no?
No, he's still alive.
Oh.
You see, he looks like he's like, boss, why didn't you shoot me?
Someone throw fire on me to melt the ice.
Oh yeah, I've got whale on myself.
Alright.
Alright. So the goblin pyromancer who you just shot, he's like, oh yeah. As he
Uh-oh.
he runs past the fighting and he's gonna go double or what's 20? He'll move 3, so he's within
60.
90. Yeah, he'll move that total of he's small, so he only moves 20 feet.
No, he's 20. No, goblins move 25.
25.
So
Remember, goblin is a player character race.
he'll move 75.
Okay.
So now he's within 60 feet.
Alright.
It's like, hey, look, there's a guy over here. He's a caster.
That's
He
the-
must be the one who made the head explode. Get it?
Oh, they're blaming me for it. I'll take the kills.
All right, so that's that. All right, Zane. Your
So I moved to the back of the building.
yes. You
I climbed
make
down.
Make a let's see, athletics check for climbing, I believe. See how fast you can go.
I was going to acrobat down.
No, that's for balance. You have to have athletics now to climb through it.
14.
14. Okay. You climb down.
Okay.
So that takes one action.
And then I moved to my next catch closer to where they are.
All right, it's going to take double movement to get.
Yeah, yeah.
To get the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next after that is Grinner. Okay. So now you see. Oh, actually, no, make a. I'll give you a free perception check. Yeah.
14.
14. All right. Now you see on the corner of your eye to your west. Some scraggling goblins coming from the other path. There's several of the halflings that were left in reserve, and they're attacking them and delaying them. But about maybe 11 of them, and the halflings cut most of them down. But two have actually managed to still be there. You are about 60 feet away from these two. Wait, or you want to move, or you want to stay within this position is?
I'm priding myself on keeping formation so that we can do this properly.
Not a problem.
So this is what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to have Steven attack the guy who's been in front of him that I've missed with 4 straight attacks.
Finish him off. Go ahead.
I think I got him.
Yeah. What's the total out of curiosity?
It's a 20. It's a 25.
25. Oh,
Tell him he missed him by that.
6 damage.
oh yeah, he kills that guy.
All right, and then I tell him to prepare, and then I'm going to, with my next action, I'm going to take out a throwing hammer, and I'm going to throw it at one of the guys who's 60 feet away.
Okay. Roll it.
What's the range on a hammer?
I'm taking a penalty,
Yeah, he's got
but I definitely miss.
falls into the falls well short.
I have a bandolier of 8 of them,
Okay.
so I'm not that worried.
Okay.
They're light hammers. They're thrown because it's thrown. You still get to add your strength, so it's D6 plus 4.
Zendri, there some of the about 3 of the halflings have been knocked out but not dead, and only one of the knights has been seriously wounded. He's still alive, but he's like sort of backing up a little bit to bandage up his leg and his gut area. There are now the goblins coming a little slower, but they're coming about every couple seconds, maybe 6 to 10 seconds. They around another dozen or more coming through, and it seems like there's almost no end to these guys. But you can make a free perception check.
13.
13. You see Grimdar throw his hammer and land. And you're like, looking, what's he throwing? And you see these attacks are coming from the south east. This one's coming from the
They were
west.
within 60 feet?
Yes.
Okay, so it's being I'm right next to you,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
daze.
Yeah. You can see the halfling reserve force attack being attacked. Okay. Okay. He. All right. What happens when you make a saving throw?
If he makes the save, he only takes 2.
2. Okay.
Still standing?
So yeah, he's
Alright.
you do he's like.
And with my other action, I'm gonna throw a dart. So if he's 60 feet, I'm -2 and -4, so I'm only +2.
Okay. What's total?
6.
6. Okay. There you go. Okay. That's it, the goblins. Okay. There's one who is nearby enough. He's not nearby enough. He's within about 30 feet of you. He's gonna take one shot at you. No, that's a 14 misses. And another goblin will engage Steven. I'm gonna charge him. He takes 2 attacks. And another 14. Still misses. Let's see. The guys you threw a hammer at. Let's see. He'll spend one action
Clang, clang, clang.
to take a short bow, and he's gonna also take a shot at you. Ooh, ahead. That's a 23. So let's see. 2. Oh.
Nakundai.
All right.
It's not even a nickel or a dime.
Penny,
It's a penny.
2-cent piece.
2 bits. 2 bits.
All right. Vegas, it is your turn.
All right, so the guy that's within 60 is going to get an electric arc. You're going to make it.
Do you make an attack?
You make a saving throw
Okay.
of 18. Reflex. No,
Didn't critically fail, but he failed.
that's 1d4 plus 4, I believe it is
Yeah,
as well.
that's
All right.
So 7.
He fries.
Yeah.
He goes.
If there's anybody that's
no. None of the
range.
others came.
He's the furthest.
Yeah, all right. That's
He
it.
ran past everyone somehow just to give you something to do.
Yeah,
So he goes and he explodes.
that's my attack. So that was a reach and an electric arc.
So you hear? Can you speak Goblin?
No.
Okay. So
Common?
you
Oh, no.
hear as there are several of these
Pyromancers.
pyromancers like, oh, he can catch fireball. Okay. Oh, all right. 2 of the pyromancers run away. I've got a fireball caster. We're completely overmatched. All right.
Oh, okay.
2 two.
I don't know where they got the fire from, but whatever.
Just the two. Well, it looked like you.
Two out of like 200 of these things, right?
You shot a lightning. From their point of view, you shot a lightning and at the pyromancer.
Yeah.
Pyromancer carries
he blew
flammable
up.
stuff on
So
him.
he
and bombs.
explodes.
So he explodes. It looks
That
like
looks like a
It
fireball.
looks like a freaking fireball. So okay. All right.
You continue to aim at pyromancers.
All right. So there is one. The second guy from the western area. He's also a pyromancer. He sees this, and he is going to move. He's going to double move. So that's 50 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to take a Hail Mary. Yeah,
At who? Me?
you.
Yeah.
Classic. Well, you're right in a nice little bunker over there.
AC 15.
Did you roll a 20?
No, not quite.
19.
I'm take a 2.
So -4.
Yeah. So 22 still.
You hit,
I got you.
and you hit the top of the building. That's not going to be good.
7 points of fire damage.
And one.
And you're on fire, by the way.
There's a persistent damage to it.
Well, it depends on what level this
And
is.
how can I?
There's always persistent damage.
Well, it's one.
Yeah.
How do I
It's
sort of get it out?
You have to take an action
Yeah.
to make a save.
You do one action for every point that it does. So if it does one, it just takes one action.
Well, I think you only have to take an action to do something.
All right,
that
let's
would-
move forward and we'll tell them
So, yeah.
how it works. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess back to Zane, you reach your weapons.
Well,
what is your
it's
knife?
mostly range weapons because
Okay.
I'm assuming. So I look around the corner of the building. Do I see the leader?
He's not there anymore. You see this half of the party, the 5 are that were coming towards your area is there, and you see a pair of pyromancers. The guys with
How far away is the pyromancer?
they are only 30 feet away.
I electric arc both of them.
Okay. Do I have a saving throw?
Yeah, it's 15.
Well, you got to roll the damage either way. don't
Well,
you?
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Is it reflex save?
Yes.
Yeah, it's one takes 2, and one takes 2. But if they have flammable,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll make a saving throw with that.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Do you
So
roll a separate die for each target for
No.
electric arc?
Oh,
Okay.
you don't? It
No.
doesn't
This
matter.
is the
Okay.
one that
This is the same damage. All right. So they both got zzz, but they
one
they-
took 1 and
they-
the other took 2, and they didn't care.
They didn't explode, unfortunately.
Okay.
Roll for both of them, then they actually.
Okay, and
All right.
then I'm gonna shoot one of them
Okay.
because that's only 2 actions.
Well, the electric arc is 2.
Right.
Yeah. So he's shooting with the.
Yeah, so that's an 11. I
Minus
missed.
5 on it?
No, he doesn't take a penalty.
Oh, no penalty?
Because the other one was a save. So
Not a spell
Oh.
attack.
It's not an attack.
Okay.
That's why I don't.
now the other
understand.
thing though is you have to do a manipulate action to cast the spell.
It's verbal and somatic. Yes,
So you cannot shoot the crossbow in the same round because the crossbow takes both of your hands.
that's a heavy crossbow.
Yeah, both crossbows take both hands.
No,
The
Yes.
hand
One
crossbow only takes.
Hand crossbow takes 1. The
He
other
has
2
a
take
hand
2.
crossbow.
No,
no.
he's-
I had a heavy. I have
have a
heavy and crossbows across the thing. I don't have hand
I
crossbows.
thought you had hand.
All right, so if you
I
have a
have a
light, it
hand
still
crossbow.
requires
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
Alright.
both of hand crossbow is 1, heavy crossbow is 2, regular crossbow is 2.
A regular
All right,
crossbow.
then
Yeah.
you are there just as.
So
just as,
you can't cast a spell and shoot in the same round.
Right.
All right, well,
Just-
the one that just shot at him,
Yes.
I'll do the daze.
Wait, before you
Okay.
start, you see a pair of riders go past the halflings that are still fighting the scrubs, and they've gotten into your rear. So they are about 60 feet away from you and heading in your direction.
I'm still going to take out the one,
Okay.
so daze.
It pops.
Okay, and you said that they're both within 60 feet now?
Yes.
I'll throw a dart with the -4 again.
Okay.
It's only 14.
16. Oh, you.
I'm
Two
at
range
minus
increments.
4.
Two range
Two range
increments.
increments.
You throw a dart and okay. So that. Oh, it's Angus' turn.
I gotta cut off this fire. What do I do here? Reflex save?
No. Your persist. No. Neither of those. Persistent damage. You take the persistent damage to start, and then you roll a DC 15 flat check.
Okay.
So if you roll a 15 or higher, then it's out.
Okay.
All right.
Take 1 point of damage.
Does he have to take an action?
No.
Oh, because I thought there was something.
No.
where
If he wants to put it out
actually-
earlier, he can take an action. So
So if I fail this, I probably
persistent
have to
damage
take
is
an
a condition that causes normal damage to occur. You take a DC flat check of 15 to recover from the persistent damage. I know there's something that makes it so that you can.
Yeah, like
get
if
rid
you're
of it.
bleeding and you want to like stave the wound, you could take an action to do that, and then
That's
that.
medicine check.
I think that makes your flat check only a 10 or something.
Yeah, but if someone else has to stop a bleeding effect, it's administer first aid. I think there's another way to do it, but I'm not remembering.
Just
it.
roll 15.
15.
No,
Okay.
didn't matter
So
anyway.
you're still on fire.
I'm still on fire. I still have all my actions, but can I take an action to turn off this fire of some sort? Like roll on the ground, that kind of thing.
I believe something like that makes the DC lower, but I'm trying to find it.
Okay. Well, for now, I'll say that you tried to put the fire out, but you're still on fire. You
Okay.
still have 2 actions. I'm gonna let you take another action if you want to turn the fire off. If you want. Try and.
It's 1 point, man.
It's 1 point for right now, but how long does this thing take?
Until it's done.
Until it's out.
Oh, it's because it's a chemical fire. Yeah, I don't know what.
This can be now for other things that keep persisting burning.
Okay.
That's
Blast.
not
Wait, well, is there anything within his range?
Yes, there's another the pyromancer that threw the thing.
Is
Yeah,
how
I need-
close?
He's within. Let's see, move 50. I had to make a Hail Mary throw, so he was at 70.
I can't hit him.
Sure you can.
Oh, Ray of Frost.
Yeah, yeah, frosted.
All right, I'm gonna Ray of Frost him because he's gonna throw another one at me. So,
You're plus 8. 23.
Yes.
You
23.
hit. Roll damage. Our lances are tougher than regular troops.
Die. Ugh.
No,
5 damage.
He's still alive.
Damn
He's like, I'm still alive.
I still have one.
You're not so tough.
I still
Alright.
have an action, right? So
If you
how you cast you take an action to try and put out the fire. And you cast.
I thought that was an automatic.
the DC 15 is a flat check, is an automatic.
Okay.
If you want to try to make it better for yourself, it's a 2 action thing, and that makes the DC change from 15 to 10.
Okay. So you only have 1 action left.
No, yeah, I still have one action. I'm gonna put up a shield.
Okay. You put up your shield. Okay. Do-do-do.
And if someone is like healing you, or if you submerge yourself in water,
There's only a
you would
bunch of
end it.
halflings on
And that's
top,
for
this is
any
on
persistent
top of
damage,
a
right?
roof.
That is this is the persistent damage rules page that I'm looking at.
Okay.
So,
I think I missed Grimdark. Grimdark, what are you doing? Sorry.
yeah, I was going to mention after he went.
That's okay. Now there's 2. Now this is a situation. There is 1 pyromancer within 70 feet of him. There are 2 riders now. They're within 60 feet of him and generally you. The 2 guys that were originally there are still fighting, so that's okay. And currently, nothing is engaging you directly.
All right, I'm going to go towards the riders. I can't get there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to double move towards them, and I'm going to have Steven double move towards them.
Okay.
So we are 10 and 20 feet away from them respectively, so that they,
No.
again,
Have you guys.
like I'm trying to call them to come and attack me instead of the halflings, because I'm positive that I am hardier than they are.
Oh, definitely. All right. So now back to the regular. Let's see. Okay. So just to let you guys know, it's now starting to just simply trickle at that gate, but at the western area, the halflings is starting to fall back. There's only like 8 of them left, and now there's like 15 goblins. Some of them have died before, but more have come through, and now there are more riders on the periphery. You see them there.
Well,
100
they know as it starts becoming a more difficult fight, they're supposed to pull back into the
Yes,
inn,
yes.
because we've got that a bit fortified.
The knights are cheering over there, but they start realizing that they're being outflanked. The archers from both of them are now paying attention more to this side, and they're shooting away. Okay, so that's just simply the over battle. So, Zane, it's your turn.
I'm gonna arc the two guys again.
Okay. Same throw, right?
Yep. 15.
Go ahead.
They take 2.
2.
Roll better.
But they gotta make the saving throw to
Yes.
blow up.
Yes, if they make the saving throw, they take 1. And if they fail the saving throw, they take 2.
Okay. One of them blows up. It explodes on him, and he dies in a ball of fire. The other guy doesn't, and he's far enough from the other guy not to get splashed. It only affects the 5 foot radius.
Okay.
He's like, ah! Oh, hold on, wait. No, he makes his morale check. He's going back there, but he's running. Yep. Okay. Remember the normal set of order.
All right. Move. Do a move action to get close enough to one of the riders. Attack one of the riders.
Yeah.
Is Stephen flanking him?
Yeah, I will move up to him, and then I will have Steven go move up to him to flanking, make an attack from Steven. Yeah, because I have to. That's going to be a 22 to hit,
Yes, roll them out.
and he will do 6 points of damage.
Is the dog and the rider considered a single unit?
I assume not.
Not really. That's just
Okay,
a
so did
surprise.
you attack the rider?
I'm attacking the rider first, and
So he takes a hit. He's looking at Steven's
bite,
biting him. Okay, so
and then I am attacking him from the front. That's a 24,
hits.
and I do 14.
Okay, he is so dead. All right, you bash. You cut him in twain. All right, so let's see.
Took 5 attacks to kill a squat guy.
All right, so
But someone that's better, you knock clean off the horse.
I then look at the other rider
yeah.
and just smile at him.
All right, so the goblin dog runs away.
Okay.
The other rider. The other rider comes up and he's going to attack you, but
Yeah.
no prize. So actually, let the dog go first. His goblin dog. Yes. Nope. So the goblin dog tries to claw at you and bite you, but really, and he's gonna. Let's see. That's 18. Is that it?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. And then the second attack is. Ooh. Nope, still an 18. Misses. Okay. So.
AC 19.
Okay. And see. Oh, the pyromancer is still barely alive. Okay. Yes, he's gonna move 25 feet closer. So he just reduces the penalty.
So he's at 55 now, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, 25 feet, so he's at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he takes only a
45
minus
actually.
4 instead of a minus
He's gonna
6.
throw
Because he was
couple
70
balls.
away.
So here comes the oh, he's
Or
Now, I
minus
do have
2.
my
So now he's at
shield,
45.
so it's a 16 right now.
all right, that is 12. So
What's your dex mod?
1.
ooh,
Okay.
hello. Let me go on negatives. That's 20.
You hit.
That's just all in negatives. Oh, my goodness.
Can I put up the shield to take the damage?
Yes, of course.
But I can't have the shield again.
Yeah, it's still worth it.
I'm putting up the shield to take the damage. It absorbs all of it.
All right, so as soon as you make the
Dissipates.
gesture, it explodes. You see for briefly a flaming sphere in front of you, and then the shield disappears, and then the rest of it slides down. Very well done. See how good that is?
Now I don't have it anymore. That's it.
But it's
okay.
saving your butt. You
Yes,
got
it
it.
did.
The idea is at this level, it
Yeah, it's a
literally just
cantrip.
says, I take 5 less damage in this combat.
Yes.
Which is
good.
At a good time, yeah. Especially if something that's
When it gets higher, it's 10. Then
Well, these things
15,
has
then
persistent
20, then
damage.
25.
My turn?
No, it's Zender than you. Zender, what do you wish to do?
The rider that's on him. Blessed with the days.
Okay. How much damage does it do? 4?
4, unless he critically fails.
That's a pretty good fail.
Okay.
Nice fail. All right, you see him as blood drips from his nose, and he's like looking around. What the? He's a bit confused.
And I'll give you a guidance.
Thank you.
Or should I give it to Steven?
Give it to me.
Okay.
Because I'll move him to flanking and then hope for a crit.
Yep.
So one of the goblins is going to
Plus 11's good.
He's going to take a shot at Jonathan. So. Nope. Which you?
Track of who I've done guidances for.
Yeah.
One of the other goblins that made pass on the western gate is going to take a pot shot at. He's going to take one shot at you.
16.
And that hits. I got 18. Oh no, even with a negative. Yep. Still barely hit with a 16. Just on top. So you take a total of 2. And his second shot, he's like, I got him. I'll try for the caster over there. He's gonna take a shot at you. So minus
15.
So this is at -9.
So no. Yeah. He actually quickly fails and breaks his nose. No. And he
He starts to cry.
And he's like, he's about to draw his sword, but he's like, hang on a minute. And there's a lot of
Yeah, he's going to go grab a dead goblin's
he
bow,
goes back and grabs
which makes perfect sense. Too logical for a goblin. He's not a
He's
goblin.
being opportunistic. So
I'm just kidding.
It is
My turn?
your turn. What
All
are you
right.
gonna do?
Well, I'll take another damage.
Okay.
It's still on, right?
Roll the.
And then I roll.
All right, now, do you want to spend the 2 actions
No.
to reduce the difficulty?
No.
This will kill him.
50. Oh,
Like I said,
almost. Anyway. So do I have some guys within 60 feet now, right? Yes, I do.
Let's see.
The guy that hit me?
Yes, the one that hit you is.
He's only 40.
The one that you used the shield was 50 feet away. You used the
Is
shield
is
against.
anybody else next to him? Within 60? No. All right, I'm going to reach and you saving throw, electric arc.
What's the DC again?
18.
18. Roll damage.
7.
7.
7. All right. The electric arc. Hold on. Nope. All right. You go.
Another fireball.
He quickly failed his saving throw, so you actually did 14 points of damage.
He
And he
exploded.
explodes. Okay, hold on.
Fireball.
Okay. No. Just hold on. Okay.
One of the houses went
3 of the goblins on the western side see that explosion and they flee.
Nickel and dime, nickel and dime.
Blowing up all of our alchemists. They're not killing them, they're blowing them up. Half of them, their heads pop off. The other half are blowing up in fiery explosions.
So you don't have
What
to
the hell kind of halflings are these?
to actually have the fireball effect.
They're dire halflings.
Okay.
Strike
Take them to
100
100
halflings.
Alright, so back to the top of the order is Zane.
Okay, I will. So from the angle, is there just one?
One pyro. Yeah.
And is there anybody else within range of the arc so I can hit the pyro?
yes, there are 5 goblins. They're going into the home that you were in, and
Yeah.
3 of them are already in, so there's only 2 of them.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit the goblin with the arc and another goblin. And
2
then,
guys over there?
yeah. And then
So
Roll the
15.
damage first.
15. 4 points.
Okay. So both of them suffer 4. So they're like, you hit one, but they hit the other.
Right. Does the alchemist blow up?
No, he's not next to them. It's either the 2 guys there or the alchemist.
Oh,
Which one?
well, I asked. I was gonna hit the alchemist if there's another one I could target.
Okay, no, the alchemist does not blow up, but he does take the 4 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's amazing how he hasn't attacked you.
And I cast
It's
shield.
his turn. Okay. All right.
You've literally shot him 3 rounds in a row, and he's just looking at you.
I'm gonna.
Well, no, arc. He might not know where it's coming from.
30-foot
He can
range,
see you.
man.
He can see
It's
the
not
light.
possible.
All right.
It doesn't come out of the finger, right?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does.
It's a zap. It's lightning. All right. So he sees you. He's gonna try and take. He's gonna take a He's gonna throw 2 pots at you.
Okay.
Oh.
I will nimbly
That's a
dodge.
16. That one
Miss.
misses. Okay. Next one. That is 19.
Missed.
You missed. Dang.
Well, you nimble dodge only works against one of them.
Yeah, but I have shield up, which gives me
Oh.
20.
Shield. See, shield is what saves the day.
Shield is that's a take-home message. Shield saves the day. Okay, so that's that guy. So
Good work. Good work.
All right, so very nice. All right, so let's. Dog water won't run away. So it is Grimdar's turn. So Goblin Rider and
yes.
And dog.
I will once again. I'll move Steven into position to flank with me to attack the rider. He got a 16. Okay, so he hits the rider for 4,
4. He's still alive.
and then I am attacking the rider with a 16. The
That
guidance got me
helps.
hit
Ooh.
for 6.
All right, that killed the Goblin Rider. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, good. It killed it anyway.
Oh no, the dog still stays. All right,
I rolled a 2.
all right,
Actually, I rolled a 2 on both of them.
all right. The dog is going to attack Steven. Two attacks. Ooh, 21
Yeah,
and no. So
this is gonna
Steven
hurt.
takes
It's gonna be
3.
Oh, it's starting to increment up
Oh
now.
no, he's hurt.
Healer.
No, not enough for it to be worth it.
Oh god. Zendri, what do you wish to do? The dog is Steven's not hurt.
Steven's now hurt.
He looks fine.
Don't listen to him. Steven's like. Steven's like,
I'm
we're
gonna move 25 feet
He
closer.
did not speak for me.
So I'm only 1 range increment away.
Shoot
Cast
hard.
guidance on Steven.
Okay. I'll Steven, alright. Oh, alright.
Steven, and then with the last, just throw the dart at the dog. No.
Alright. Okay.
Man, I'm terrible with these darts.
Let's-
I'm glad I bought 20 of them.
Yeah,
A pyromancer.
that's the
Okay.
reason why I bought 8 of the frickin' light hammers.
What you know? Okay.
I'm just as good as what you
Two
are.
of the other goblins have now passed the halflings and outflanked them. But they're not going after the halflings. They're going to shoot at you guys. You see you shooting like, kill the wizard. He must be out of fireball by now. Alright, so he's going to take a shot at you. 2 shots at you.
You are out of fireballs.
Misses.
Oh, he's only out of fireballs if they're out of alchemists.
That's a good point.
15.
That hit.
I like
have
that.
a 15. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, 15.
That's an excellent way to say that.
Let's hope they surround the alchemist.
So the first one's like, I hit him. He bleeds. He can die. It's like no, I'm going after the dwarf because he's armored and they make him easy to hit. That's 23. See, I hit him. 4, 2. Second one misses completely.
That's why I use a dice.
The dwarf can be hit. See,
I got a
armor
pencil,
makes
it's
him-
fine.
Armor makes him easy to hit.
Keep on believing that.
Goblin logic. What do you want?
Don't stop.
All right, so that is that for them. Igus, what do you wish to do?
Well, so there's guys in range now within 60 feet. Yeah.
Come, yeah. What do you wish to do?
All right, I'll just do a normal save on. I still have the firearm, right?
You will die from the fire.
Come on, 15 or plus.
No, you will die from the fire. How much you have left?
He's only taking like 1 at a time here.
I'm down 14
Like I
out of
said,
26.
He's been hit 3 times.
Yeah, he's been hasn't hit a lot.
like I said, he's gonna die from the
All
fire.
right, I'm electric
I'm a better
arcing.
wizard.
Electric arcing.
No, you're
Those guys.
He's-
So if it hits 2, yeah.
You may be a better caster. You're not a better wizard. You're a better caster.
Take 7.
Okay, both of them die.
Yes.
They don't explode, but they just die. It's like, ah!
He's getting some
I
kills
need
though.
He hasn't killed.
You're 100 feet away from
I
your
know.
from all of us. If you need heals, you need to come to us.
All right.
Or I'm just gonna use.
Oh yeah, have the guy who's on fire run
I'll
through.
Takes 10 minutes.
see
Sure,
Alchemist
that-
again.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Oh, he does.
I don't have
Takes
battle.
3
Yeah.
finally. Does he explode?
Next one.
And I cast
Hold
shield.
1 second. Okay. So some of the goblins are coming out with some loot, and they look at see enough time. to see
Loot
those-
from what?
Like,
The house they just went into.
I take anything that like plates,
Not,
anything.
that's
They're
not
raid.
nailed down.
Nailed
They
down,
take.
they take everything. Carpet. They go out there and they see your lightning arc and hit
Like the Godfather, they're rolling up the rug and taking it out.
Yeah, and he explodes. Yeah, like, and all 5 of them just book it out of there. They're like, fuck this.
We have our stuff.
Yeah, some of them drop the heavier objects, and some of them keep like, I'm taking this carpet. I don't care who he is.
No matter how many of these we kill, we're
I know
still
it's
gonna have to
magical.
go and hunt them down.
No, they might just keep running away.
They're gonna run back to where they came from. At
Grimdar,
least.
go. There's a dog left.
All right. I'll attack the dog first since we're already flanking. That's a 27.
Alright, roll damage to see how much you do.
Is it a crit?
Was it 27?
27.
Sorry, yes, it's a crit.
All right. 15.
You guys. You got the poor dog in half.
At that point, I look over at the guy who shot me with the bow. How far away is he?
He is 60 feet.
All right. I move towards him, and I have Steven double move towards him.
Okay, so you move towards him. Alright, let's see.
But the guidance goes away.
That's
all right.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Alright, 2 guys who are bows. They will take
I crit.
Okay. So, 2 guys with bows. One will take a shot at you. No. There's another one more guy. The guy who's on. So he's going to take a shot at you because dwarves are easy to hit. Oh, and they are. 26. That hits. So take 1. That's right.
Little shots.
See, he's easy to hit.
That same weapon hit him for 23.
I
I'm going to take a shot at you. It's like I can hit them. If I can hit a dwarf, I can hit a.
know. It's the second attack. All right.
Yes,
Hit the giant.
Only plus 2.
What you crit?
All right, so he's like, "I'm a dwarf, die!" And it arcs, and it's like a shit arrow, like it's like 2, but somehow it flops.
Did you crit?
I think this is deadly, isn't it? All right. Oh wow, that's a D10. Holy shit! All right, so
He's gonna collapse, still be on fire.
all right, didn't do so well. Okay, 13 points of damage,
I'm down. I'm down. That's 27.
and the fire is
Told you I was a better wizard than he is.
Dude, if you had been where he was,
Yeah,
you wouldn't have been able to do anything.
It happens. There you go. He's like,
Yeah. And if he was with us, I could have healed him.
Yeah, which is why I don't know why you were doing what you were doing.
To not.
I told you not to do
that
that.
is okay. You see, he goes, you see that, boy? You see that? I killed the wizard. I killed the wizard.
I told you there's going to be 3 of us.
As about 14 or 15 of the goblins who are fighting, some of them are really pretty badly hurt. They like look like, ah, and they start screaming, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will now be introduced to the death save.
About this time, the guy who's in armor comes up and says, now is my time to make my entrance. You've killed the wizard. Excellent. Overrun them, brothers. As you think it's possibly a goblin chief or one of them who the warlord, and 4 wizards tend you come in. Like, they look like the most disciplined out of the goblins, which is not saying that much, but still. So this is the big boss. Okay, so
Dum dum dum.
okay, so Zendri, it is your turn.
How far away is Big Boss and his 4
He's about 90.
cohorts?
The,
90?
the main battle between the goblins they're about 60 from you.
Okay.
They're just rounded the corner, so they're about 90.
Alright, so the ones that were 60 from you that you sent Steven after,
Yes.
they're within 60?
Yeah.
All right, so I could.
So days them, or 3 days at 60? Or?
I'm gonna do a move to be 25 feet closer to
Okay.
Grim and Steven, and then
Okay.
I'll do the days.
All right, so you're next to me.
Alright, days. Okay. Oh, hold on. What's the DC again? Sorry.
18.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
a will.
one of you popped the guy who shot the
You've been avenged.
See, I'm great. Ah. They're like, no. Hold on. Oh, they don't run away, but still, they're like, who did that? Who did that?
It's a lot of bleeding ears.
A lot of popped head. You've done a lot with that single spell. Okay, so then during this time, okay.
Right, in 3 more levels, and
So-
that's a d6 damage.
So then, hold on.
When it's heightened 2, that means it has to be a spell
Okay.
level of 3,
So
right?
you
Yeah, plus 2 higher. So
You become
And it counts as a level 1.
as you see all Gus.
So if it's plus 2, does that
Hey,
mean
how
I
you
could
doing?
cast
I
3rd
was
level
hoping
spells,
that
or I
was-
could cast
You
2nd
also
level
you
spells?
Third
also
level
see what
spells.
what tastes
Okay,
like.
so it counts as a 1,
a
not as
metallic
a
oily
level
stuff in your
0.
mouth.
no, it's still cantrip.
As you think,
Okay.
it took 2 or 3 of them.
It's just-
you know,
it's a cantrip
I don't know if this is the
that-
right potion or not. I gave you the one that looks like oil. It might be
So
castor
it doesn't
oil.
take any of your spots. It's just it just
That
does
was
more
the
damage.
first one. No, it wasn't castor oil. But the second, no, it was the third one I gave you. You're welcome back to the land of living. As old Gus has
Gus is there!
he's thinking
Gus
about-
just
he's-
healed him.
Well, yeah, you're gonna be.
Yeah,
He also took.
You're
the
gonna be
time
buying drinks for a long time.
He extinguished a fire. Roll a d8, please.
A D8.
Yes.
All right.
All right, add 2,
7.
9. You have 9 hit points. And he
Alright.
shoved a healing potion. However, the first 2 potions or substances he put into your mouth, well, you'll feel it.
The other potion he administered as an enema.
And you will now also have the dying or the
Wounded.
wounded 1 condition.
Yeah,
Wounded 1.
Wounded one. Does that imply penalties?
No, all that happens is now if he goes into dying again, every time his dying condition would go up by 1, it would go up by 1 more instead.
Oh, that's
So basically, if you have if you have this condition,
You move
it
on.
makes it easier to die.
no problem.
That's all it does, though. It makes it so that you are easier to kill if you're brought back down again.
Understood. Says, sir, you're back in the fight.
Oh,
Remember,
boy.
keep your head low.
I'm in a fight, I'm tapping out. Are you kidding me?
I'm staying low.
All right.
You
so
haven't
that-
even
that-
cast a single actual spell.
You
First
have all
level,
your
yeah.
spell- You have almost all your spells. You've been casting cantrips, which is enough for this spell.
That's all I've been doing so far.
Yeah,
You've been devastating. Popping heads left, right, and center.
yeah. It's because will saves.
Yeah. All right. So that is on your turn, I guess. So back to top of order. Zane. What do you?
I will. Is there a target here I can shoot at?
Yes.
I will
There
shoot.
is a pair of riders.
I'll shoot at 1.
Okay. Crossbow.
All by yourself.
What you got?
I got a 10, so that's 18.
You hit.
Yeah.
Regular's a D8.
5. All right. You plug him, and he hold on. He falls off his mount. Ah! The other guy's like, what? And he looks around at you. What do you, that's the first shot. What do you
Right,
think? How long did it take to reload crossbow?
I'm not
with-
reloading. Remember, it's a catch, and I just have enough, and I move to the next one.
For regular crossbows, it's 1 round.
Okay. So you're using the double move?
I'll double move to the next thing, and
round or
at this
action?
point,
One
how
action.
close am I to the?
Heavy ones, it's 2 actions.
Yeah.
Oh, you're about 600 feet.
I think.
You move from
But
one
you can
side to about
also
600
Okay.
you can also reduce it with stuff.
So move to my next catch.
feet. Okay.
Yeah, heavy crossbows 2.
All right.
All their crossbows are 1.
So the rider will double move as well, and he's going to just throw some knives at you.
Okay,
Yeah. So knife number 1. Ooh, a hit. That's a 25.
that's a hit.
That's a little more 25. Take 1 point. Ah. I went for a second. That's a 14. No, I missed. So you got it. Nickel there, nickel.
Nimble dodge only works for melee attacks.
No, it works on
any-
anything, but it's
Oh, okay.
it's only it's
I
its
got
reaction to
25, so
do
it's only
one.
once.
It's only once.
Yeah.
I got 25, so even if he nibbled, he'd only have 2.
Right, but I figured he would have at least tried to use it.
Okay.
You're not using the reaction for anything else, and you have to do
I
it
have to
before
see
the-
him. I'm assuming he's behind me.
Okay.
Alright. Remdar. Okay, so, yeah, there's, oh yeah, the dog. The dog ran away. Oh, the dog, you killed the
Dog's
dog.
dead.
Dog. So there is, the boss and his 4 cronies. The 4 cronies are slightly more ahead, like 5 feet ahead of him, on either side of him.
Well, they were what, like 90 feet away or
They're
something?
90 feet from you, from where you were. They're,
And I moved 25 feet closer,
they're
so that's
25
115 away.
So they're 70 feet from me because I only moved 20 up.
So yeah, 70 feet away from you.
It also means they're only 40 feet from Steven.
Yeah. So they'll move 30 feet closer.
That's
And-
2 moves for them.
They're on their.
They're on
The
dogs.
dogs are 30.
Okay.
Dogs will move fast. And they just draw the weapons at that point.
All right, so they are now.
Now it's your turn.
Okay, so they are now 40 feet from me.
Correct. Just, by the way, you're still currently prone. Just so you just
Okay. And what did the leader do, or is he not up yet?
He's staying 5 feet behind so far.
Okay.
He's just barking out orders. It's like, we've broken the defenses. Now let's destroy them. There's still battling going on, sort of behind you in the southwestern stuff. There doesn't seem to be any more goblins going on, but there's about half the forces that are knocked out or hurt, and 3 of the knights have gone to the back to bandage up, and they're starting. Mannheim is starting to look around to see if there's a transfer of the rest of the knights.
All right, so we've got 4 riders and the leader himself. Charging all 5 of them seems like a really stupid idea. But I got a healer behind me. All right.
He's not a healer, he's a head popper.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move up 20 feet. So I'm now only 20 feet away from the riders. And I'm going to, since I have quick draw, I will draw a hammer and throw it at one of these riders. It's going to miss because it's a 13.
Okay.
And then I will call Steven to my side.
Okay.
And have him just come to next to me.
Okay. Alright. So that's Henry! What do you wish to do? You see him going forward to proudly make a stand.
I'm gonna move up to probably about 10 feet behind him. 5 feet.
That's if you were to move to 10 feet behind me, it's literally only a 5-foot step for you.
Oh, in that case.
I'm only 15 feet in front of you.
Yeah, but I still need to move for what I'm gonna do.
I'm just letting you know, like you.
I'm gonna move actually so that I'm only 5 feet behind him, and I'm gonna cast Bless.
Bless. Okay.
And it's a 5-foot emanation, so
Excellent.
Steven gets it, you get it, I get
That's a
it.
D4 or I don't
No, it's a
No,
plus 1.
It's a plus 1.
You're thinking in 5th edition.
Alright. No problem. Alright. Aegis, what are you doing? You spent half your move.
I used up
yes.
It's an,
I
it's,
have to get
it's
up.
just an action to get up.
Action? Okay.
And I'm going to go down onto street level.
You climb down?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a athletics check, please.
Athletics check.
Just determine whether that's one or two actions.
Alright.
If you muck it up, you might
Athletics.
fall.
0! Athletics is 0. So whatever.
Oh,
10.
Total?
10 total.
Okay. Also, you make it down without killing yourself.
You did it.
Well, she twists his ankle. I'm like, I got hurt in this battle.
Luisimos, we did it!
Is that 2 actions or do I have one more?
One more.
How far away am I from everyone?
Alright, so from the
The bad guy?
well, the
You're
main-
probably about 200 feet behind me.
You are in this area, okay? They are battling over here, and here and here or so. It would take you. I would say you're from where Grimdar is. You're about 100 feet or so.
Alright, so I'll just
Diagonally.
I'll take one action, go getting closer for 7. So
You move
within
25,
7.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's that. All right. So, Gus is right next to you. He says, "Well, get him!" as Gus has his favorite bone, like a femur or something. You know what it is. And
He's proficient with it.
and a flask or something. He's got.
Hey,
Liquid courage.
a bone. Do I think that's a wand or
He was
something?
like a 8th level wizard. Fireball! I sobered up. Fireball!
His bone is actually his wand.
You
Yeah.
guys have been doing fireballs anyway. You didn't need a fireball. You didn't explode. You actually defeated more by morale, breaking morale than by actual damage. You caused like about 30 or 40 of them run away. Like 5 every time, 3 times, whatever it is.
All right.
Okay.
So,
top of the order, Zane. You can figure you can.
So I reached the next catch.
Yes. Yeah. There are 2 goblins that are looking around for. They're just coming out of.
What about the guy that was chasing me on the dog?
He's behind you. He's about
Okay,
30
so
feet
I grab the bow and shoot the guy and the dog.
behind. Go ahead.
20.
You hit. Roll damage.
2.
2. Okay. You shoot and you hit him. He falls off the dog, and the dog runs away. Oh, hold on. He takes 3 points of damage from the fall.
So he dies.
He's unconscious. It happens.
Stupid dog.
In battles, sure happens. What do you want?
So
That was only one action.
one action. Shield.
Shield. And anything else? A move? Or?
Oh, I still have
He
another
had to
action.
move to get to the cache.
Oh, okay. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So the 2 guys look at it's coming out and says, "Oh!" They see you. They have to put down their stuff, draw their bow, and then they take 1 shot at you each.
Yeah.
Nope. That's a 16. That's 17. Both miss. Okay. So that's it. Oh, okay. So that's the goblin chapter. Okay. So 2 of the goblins are on horseback on the left, dogback rather, on the left, go around you. They give you a wide berth as they're going to see something more vulnerable, which is you, and
Gus.
Gus. They're gonna spend. They can get 90 movement.
Gus is gonna like crouching tiger
And
and
so
halfling.
about
Crap at him with the
about
bone.
30 feet of you.
Okay.
That's they move all over.
All right.
The
It's a
other
magic
2.
bone called skulls.
They're going to. One of them's going to charge at you because dwarves are easy to hit when they are heavy armor. So they charge. That's what goblins charge. That's what they believe. First one, that's 17. That misses. The next one is 14. Misses. All right. So he. Oh. The second one is going to, let's see, charge at Steven, because why not? Okay, that one's a 23, that hits. Second one, the natural 20. Okay, so the first one hits for 4. And the natural 20 hits for 3. It's going to burst it.
Is he a bard?
No, he's not.
Steven could use a heal.
yeah, he's under half.
He was like,
Me?
If you roll max, you will heal him for full, but if you roll average, you won't.
Grimdar, it is your
All right, first, I'll have Steven attack the one who attacked him. That's a 24,
Is that plus the one from
Yeah.
the blast? Okay.
Oh,
and that's for 7 points.
hold on. Okay, he remains on his thing. He's still alive.
All right, he will attack again. And that's a
16.
That's 16.
yeah, it is a 16 because he, and that's for 4.
Those extra plus ones help, man.
Yeah.
He's still barely alive. He's got a little bit tougher than me.
All right, and then I will attack the one that attacked me. That's a 23.
Okay.
and that's for 6 points of damage.
You slice him, he's still alive.
And that's a 19
Hits him.
for 9 points of damage.
Alright, he still maintains control, but he's barely alive.
Wow.
Third attack, or
No, that's 2 action. I attacked twice with each of us.
Yeah.
That's 15 points and what, 10 points?
11.
Or 11, okay.
Oh, they're badly hurt, but they're not, dead. Alright, so, Sendry, your turn.
I'm gonna expand the range of the Bless by 5 feet.
Okay.
So now it's 10. I'll do that later, and then I'll do, the 2 action heal on Steven.
Go ahead.
13.
13. Steven's like, yeah, I like you a lot.
You're my buddy.
He's now down 1.
Took like 5 or 6 hits to make
Yeah, well, it's the crit. The crit did half of it. He took.
No, the crit did 3.
Oh, right. Sorry, no. Those 2 hits did 7, and he was down 7 from the other 3 hits he took.
Yeah.
So he took 5 hits to go
I
down
know.
14.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, that's my 3 actions.
Alright.
It cost me an action to expand the range of the Bless.
Okay. So one of the knights have been running this time, and he comes and he's going to flank with you, and he's going to hit the rider. He only gets 1 attack, but he made it count. All right.
I'm going to keep expanding the range just so that gives you some maneuverability to flank.
Yeah.
2. He does 6 points to the guy.
2 spells used up.
Okay.
Less
He
than
he managed to kill one of the riders, just barely.
Excellent.
And the
dog runs away.
And he chooses not to bother hitting the dog with small already. Okay. So after that, what are you doing?
So I have 2 riders coming at me, right?
You have 2 riders coming at you. Yes.
And they're within 30
Just
feet.
run in the
Yes.
building,
you got
man.
30 feet. Guys are like, we gotta go.
Electric arc.
Alright.
To make a saving throw.
Saving throw.
18. And you will take
Okay, both. Oh, 1, 2,
take 7.
7. Okay. One of them takes 7. The other one took 14 because I made a critical thing.
Wow.
And it went, and it hits the other guy, and it almost cuts him in half. It goes through his chest and comes out the other side, and he's like, "We should not fuck with the wizard." It's like,
Now he's got
Gus-
lightning bolts.
Gus like, there you go, you shot
He
him.
got bored of fireballs.
And I move 25 feet away.
Where you
I'm
going?
still going. So, you take care of it and follow me.
What do you mean? I take care of him. I got bone.
That's
You're
a
wrong to pick.
What do you mean I take care of him? I've got a bone.
What do you mean? Oh.
That's a good line.
Who brings a bone to a sword fight?
All right, Gus. It's good.
I assume you're a magician.
What? All right, so Gus is gonna. He's gonna. What Gus does is, how far are you now back from him?
Just 25 feet.
All right, so Gus runs back towards you. It's like, nope,
Okay.
nope. he trips you up.
Now we're within 50 feet.
I
of
just
these
have to
guys.
outrun him.
Now we're within
Does
50
he
feet
pull out
of
a
these
crossbow with a
If you're going away from the riders, then you're not getting closer to us.
guys. No, well, I'm
You're going
running
away.
towards
You're
this one.
Then you're going to a close. Well,
So you closed in on the riders.
yeah, you're
Oh.
getting close to the riders. Yeah.
I have to close in on the rider. I don't want to get that close to the rider.
So
Then-
then go back into the building.
Or just stay where you were. Or back up a little bit
There's
so it takes
armed
2
halflings
actions.
in the building.
Yeah, I'll go inside the building then.
All right, you go backwards. You know.
Yeah,
you're
I
not
have to
used
go backwards.
outside.
Okay, yeah.
Gus,
I thought these guys are flanking us.
Gus is gonna.
You can
No,
stand in the doorway and blast from the doorway.
Gus,
And if something
Gus
comes
is,
in,
Gus
just
is running on his turn. He's running towards you on turn 1, past you on turn 2,
And into the
and he closes the door.
no, we don't close the door.
That would be funny though. But no, he goes inside. It's like, I'm safe. All right. Take care of him. Okay. So,
How he runs into buildings to save money. Gus runs in to save the alcohol.
Zane, it is your turn.
How far are the 2 that are shooting me?
They are only 15 feet away.
Oh, then I will move up on them and poke
Stab
them.
at
Go ahead.
Yeah.
There and you.
Oh, yeah.
Your first
20.
one actually hits. What's your number, David?
5.
No, you kill him.
Okay. Second one,
Go ahead. -5.
-4.
-4,
So that's a 13. So I
13.
miss. And that's it.
All right. So
Do you have a quick draw?
No.
So you had to move to get to them. The one attack.
One attack, but it
Yeah.
didn't matter. The last
Right.
one
Okay,
missed.
okay. So this guy is moving 20 feet away, and he's gonna take a shot, 2 shots at you. First one, that's a 23.
That's a hit.
Okay, it does 1. Second one, that's an 18.
If it's not him,
Misses.
The only one that takes multi-digit damage. Everybody else is taking
You
one,
got criticaled.
2, 1. No, every single attack, I get hit with like multiple
maybe
damage.
if you played a melee character with armor and a shield, you wouldn't get hit
that's,
as
that's what
often.
happens when you have no armor.
No.
The dice actually know this, so it does the damage.
He says 1, 2.
That's my rationale.
I get
Armors
7.
penetrate roads
I get
really well.
All right.
It's true.
Alright, so that's a Grindar, your turn.
All right. I know there's still the one guy left, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first action to mark the boss.
Okay.
And then I'm going to have Steven attack I'm going to have him move around the other riders to give me flanking with him.
Sure.
And then I'm going to have him attack.
Okay.
That's
Hits.
going to be a 24 to hit
Might kill him.
for 6 points.
Let me
Boss.
see the rider.
No, that's the other.
Other guy.
Okay, the dog does not run away.
All right, so then I guess I will use my attack to attack the dog. I am flanking and all of that, so plus 11, so that's a 30.
That's a crit.
That quits.
Oh, that's
Let's roll the damage and see what you do.
So that's 30 points of damage, so that's 14.
Just D12s are not your friend.
Apparently.
Yeah,
14.
It's still 14 points of
you
damage.
still- you cut- you cut the dog.
And then literally after doing that, I just look back at the boss.
Okay. So, hold on.
Come and get it.
That has a crossbow bolt stuck through his neck.
Yeah.
I would assume considering the number of rounds he was gone, he probably took it out.
Probably heal.
Alright, Grindar. Alright. So,
That makes him look tough.
so the boss
I'm so tough, I'm leaving it in.
looks at you. He's gonna back away 30 feet and takes 2 shots at you, mighty dwarf. Alright, so let's see. That's 19.
Hit.
Okay, the next one. Let's see. Hold on. This one. 19. 2 19s. Okay.
Both hit.
That's it.
That is exactly my AC.
Oh, this one's significant. Oh, 12.
There you go.
And then, no, I tried to roll maximum on that one. Alright. Alright, Zendri, your turn. Now you have to heal him.
We'll spend 1 to increase the emanation to 15 feet range,
Okay.
and do the 2-point heal. 16.
Nice.
Nice. Alright.
Nobody hits my dwarf.
Hey, yes, what are you doing?
Well, I got one more guy, right? To kill.
Yeah?
Yeah, I will electric arc him, make a saving throw.
Okay, he makes a save. What's the total?
I hit you for 8.
Still 8.
8?
So making the save means he takes 4.
4. Okay, he's still alive. He's gonna. I should do.
And then I go inside.
Well,
Wait,
actually-
is this one of the riders?
Yeah.
Technically, you hit the rider and the dog. Right?
Oh, in
you
this
can
case,
arc.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rider and the dog would
The
get hit.
dog also made it as well.
Because it's not a single unit, it's two
Right.
distinct. So,
Right, so
okay,
the
you go.
dog takes 4.
So, okay, as you're running, he takes shots at you. Nope. Okay. 1 shot with a natural 20. Well, with a total 20. Take
A
4.
dirty 20.
God damn it.
Okay, that's. Zane, your turn.
I will attack the guy.
Alright, go ahead.
Every time he has a chance, he's taking toughness.
That's a 26 crit.
26 crits.
Yay!
He
Love
dies. Go
that.
ahead. Let's see what it does.
He dies a lot.
Let's see. That was fun.
That's 13.
He dies a lot. So that's only your first attack.
Is there anybody else around?
No, not right now. Yeah.
Well, he moved up to get to him. He attacked, so you've got one more left.
Yeah.
But you're still on the outskirts. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so move to the next catch.
Okay, you move to the next catch. Next, Grimnar, what are you doing?
I call the boss a coward and goblin.
Okay.
Um,
Make an intimidation roll. Intimidation?
No. Well, yes, I do have it trained, but
Okay.
that's just. That makes it a 9.
Okay. Alright, yeah.
But I call him a coward, and then I'll have. All right, he moved up that far.
He's 30 feet, 35 feet.
Yeah, he's 35 feet. I'm just deciding how I want to do this. Because I kind of just want to charge him myself.
Nope.
Yeah,
You say that when you're inside the...
I will double action, move towards him, and attack.
You lose the blessing.
I know.
Oh, didn't need it.
It's 27.
You hit him. Oh, you critical. Double 5 to 17. Nice.
Take 22.
22. Okay.
He dies.
Alright, you kill him one shot because he was hurt early by
This is the boss?
Yeah.
Nothing
See,
like
charge.
sniping him.
Ah, you go like that. Hold on. Let's see. And the dog runs away. Alright then. So the oh, I'm gonna roll for the horror. Yeah. So the goblins that were attacking see this, and they suddenly lose their heart and they start running away.
Big cheese is dead.
The entire offensive, they call it nothing spreads on the battlefield faster than fear, and they're like, no, as they start running.
Yeah, when the boss dies.
They all run away.
Game over.
Okay.
I mean, he took enough damage to take down any one of us. So.
Yeah, true enough. You cleaved them in half and then some. All right. So that is the end of tonight's session. Stay tuned next time when we'll see the aftermath of this wonderful battle. So, if you enjoyed our video, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And we'll see you next time. Boredom Seated.